Chapter 292. Yes, but I don't know what you do. Qing Mingxiang said, you used to be my sister's fiancé, but not anymore. I don't pay attention to you. Who knows what you do now? Are you here to freeload? Or are you a beggar? I was brought here by your sister. We came together just now. You saw it. She asked me to go in and wait for her. Xiao Chen was not angry. Instead, he found it a little funny. Why did Qing Mingxiang make things difficult for him? Looking at Qing Mingxiang, it seemed that he owed him a lot of money. Did this guy hate him so much? Xiao Chen really couldn't understand how he had offended him. I'm sorry, I didn't see it. If you are here to attend the banquet, then show me your invitation. Everyone who comes here has an invitation. Look, those who enter the banquet are all holding invitations. Qing Mingxiang pointed to the place where several disciples of the Qing family were being interrogated not far away. Sure enough, everyone who came was holding an invitation in their hand. I say, young man, why are you so unreasonable? He clearly came with the people inside, and he even spoke to them. Why didn't you let him in? Aren't you deliberately making things difficult for him? Lu Fengzhen, who was standing on the side, couldn't stand it anymore. He couldn't help but explain to Xiao Chen. Lu Fengzhen really couldn't figure it out. With Xiao Chen's medical skills, he was more than qualified to be a pharmacist in any martial artist's market. They were all high and mighty existences that had followers. It wouldn't be a problem even if he went to the martial artists' market's headquarters. Even if he went directly to the Hong's Chamber of Commerce, it wouldn't be a problem with Lu Fengzhen's recommendation. But now he was standing at the door and being made difficult by a young man who looked much younger than Xiao Chen, which made it difficult for Lu Fengzhen. Of course, he had intended to make friends with Xiao Chen, so when Qing Mingxiang made things difficult for Xiao Chen, he spoke a few words for Xiao Chen. I say, old man, what does it have to do with you? Qing Mingxiang glared at him and said, Xiao Chen, did you bring this person to beg with you? Scram to the side and beg for food. Don't be an eyesore here. You. Lu Fengzhen did not expect Qing Mingxiang to scold him. Not only did he call him an old man, but he also called him a beggar. No one had ever said that to Apothecary Lu in his entire life. Putting aside the fact that he was respected no matter where he went, even if they did not know him, they could not speak so rudely to him, right? What about you? Old chicken 8 lanterns, don't you know how to keep a low profile when you're here to freeload? Who do you think you are? Qing Mingxiang sneered disdainfully. In his opinion, what kind of person could come together with Xiao Chen be? LV Fengzhen was so angry that his face turned red. His chest heaved up and down, and he could not say a word. Trembling, he pointed at Qing Mingxiang and said after a long while, uncultured, old fart, what does that have to do with you? Scram to the side and beg for food. The distinguished guest will be here soon. Don't block the door. The one who spoke was Qing Zhongfan. He had been watching Xiao Chen being humiliated coldly and had no intention of intervening. It was not until LV Fengzhen said that Qing Mingxiang was uncultured that he came over and scolded him unhappily. Saying that Qing Mingxiang was uncultured was tantamount to saying that he was not strict enough with his son. Of course, Qing Zhongfan would not be happy about that. Xiao Chen was also a little surprised. He did not expect that Qing Mingxiang and his son would be like mad dogs. Not only did they mock him, but they also scolded LV Fengzhen like crazy. Although he did not know LV Fengzhen's specific identity, from his way of talking, Xiao Chen felt that he was not inferior to Medicine Master Sunday. It was not a good thing for such a person to be offended by the Qing family. It was really not a good thing for the Qing family. However, without waiting for LV Fengzhen and Xiao Chen to say anything, Qing Mingxiang suddenly pushed LV Fengzhen away and rushed forward. Qing Mingxiang also followed closely behind. Medicine Master's son, Brother Xiao, you are here. Qing Zhongfan greeted them with a smile on his face. In fact, for Xiao Hai, Qing Zhongfan did not need to personally greet him at the door. Even if the Qing family wanted to unite with the Xiao family through marriage, there was no need to do so. who asked the Xiao family to be in decline. However, he heard that the Xiao family and the Sun family had cooperated. This time, Xiao Hai brought Medicine Master Sun with him. Then, Qing Zhongfan had to pay attention to it. In Songning City, no martial arts family would ignore the existence of Medicine Master Sunday. Practicing martial arts was inseparable from all kinds of medicine and pills. The Qing family was no exception. Therefore, Qing Zhongfan personally came to greet Sun Yukai. Medicine Master Sun walked in front arrogantly. In fact, Xiao Hai had no choice. Although the cooperation between the Xiao family and the Sun family was dominated by the Xiao family, because of Medicine Master Sun's special status, even Xiao Hai had to give way to Medicine Master Sunday. Medicine Master Sun was about to say a few words when he suddenly saw LV Fengzhen not far away. At this moment, he even suspected that his eyes were playing tricks on him and that he had seen the wrong person. However, when he blinked his eyes and realized that the person was really LV Fengzhen, Medicine Master Sun's body suddenly trembled. He did not care about Qing Zhongfan, who came to greet him, and quickly ran in the direction of LV Fengzhen. Seeing Medicine Master Sun quicken his pace, Qing Zhongfan was stunned. He did not expect Medicine Master Sun to attach so much importance to him and actually greet him quickly. He was immediately overjoyed. It seemed that even Medicine Master Sun had to show some respect to the Qing family status. However, what Qing Zhongfan did not expect was that when he reached out to shake hands with Medicine Master Sun brushed past him without stopping. This caused Qing Zhongfan to be a little dumbfounded. What the hell was going on? What was going on? He quickly turned around and saw Medicine Master Sun striding to the old man from before. With a respectful face, he wanted to reach out his hand but did not dare to. He just nodded and bowed. Medicine Master LV, it really is you. I did not expect to meet you here. I am so happy. LV Fengzhen was a pharmacist of the Hong's Chamber of Commerce and also the chief pharmacist of the Warriors Market headquarters. He had also given training lectures to pharmacists of various branches of the Warriors Market. Medicine Master Sun had also attended LV Fengzhen's lectures, so he regarded himself as a student in front of LV Fengzhen. In fact, it was also an honor to be LV Fengzhen's student. LV Fengzhen was so angry that he did not say anything when he saw Medicine Master Sunday. He just breathed heavily. Medicine Master LV, what's wrong with you? Are you suffering from heatstroke? Medicine Master Sun did not know what had happened before. Judging from LV Fengzhen's appearance, he seemed to be suffering from heatstroke. LV Fengzhen pointed to the manor behind him and asked, whose house is this? This is the Qing family, the head of the Songning family, the Qing family. Medicine Master Sun hurriedly explained, Medicine Master LV, what are you doing here? Are you also here for the birthday party? The Qing family? Never heard of it. LV Fengzhen was really angry today. He sneered and said, good, very good. The Qing family, right? Yes. Medicine Master Sun nodded in confusion. He did not know what had happened. Qing Mengxiang was a little surprised when Medicine Master Sun ignored his father and him. When he turned around, he missed the scene of Medicine Master Sun nodding and bowing. He was far away, and Medicine Master Sun's voice was not loud, so he did not hear what Medicine Master Sun had said. However, LV Fengzhen's voice was not low because he was angry. Qing Mengxiang was immediately unhappy when he heard that he had never heard of the Qing family. He pointed at LV Fengzhen and scolded, old man, why are you still here? Don't embarrass yourself here. Get out of here. Can't you see that there is a distinguished guest here? Huh? Medicine Master Sun was a little dumbfounded. This was Qing Zhongfan's son. Had he taken the wrong medicine? How dare he talk to LV Fengzhen like this? Qing Zhongfan turned around first. He had already noticed that something was wrong. When he heard his son talking nonsense, he quickly scolded, Mengxiang, shut up. Ah. Qing Mengxiang was stunned, not knowing what was going on. Medicine Master Sun, may I ask who this old man is? Qing Zhongfan felt a little pain in his heart. It seemed that he had made a subjective mistake. He saw this old man walking over with Xiao Qin, so he subconsciously thought that he was someone brought by Xiao Qin. However, after seeing Medicine Master Sun's attitude toward him, it seemed that it was not that simple. This is Medicine Master LV Fungjin from the Warriors Market headquarters. He is also my teacher. Medicine Master Sun introduced him loudly as if LV Fungjin being his teacher was an incomparably honorable thing. Ah! Qing Zhongfan suddenly broke out in a cold sweat. Medicine Master from the Warriors Market headquarters? And Medicine Master Sun's teacher? It was over. How could it be good to offend the Medicine Master from the Warriors Market headquarters? Although the Qing family was the head of the aristocratic families in Songning City, it was only limited to Songning City. Outside of Songning City, it was nothing. What kind of high and mighty existence was the Medicine Master from the Warriors Market headquarters? It was a great honor for the Qing family to condescend to attend Qing Menjing's birthday party. How could he say that he was here to beg? Qing Zhongfan's vision darkened, and he almost fell to the ground. Qing Mengxiang was also a little dumbfounded. His face was full of shock. He naturally knew the significance of the Medicine Master from the Warriors Market headquarters. He did not believe it. He did not believe it. Medicine Master Sun, did you make a mistake? He came with Xiao Qin. Qing Mengxiang struggled on his deathbed. He hoped that Medicine Master Sun had made a mistake. Qing Zhongfan, is there something wrong with your child's head? Do you need me to treat him? Medicine Master Sun said coldly. Normally, Medicine Master Sun would not have mocked Qing Mengxiang for his sake. However, in front of Medicine Master Lu, anyone could make a choice. Mengxiang, shut up. Qing Zhongfan slapped Qing Mengxiang, making him see stars. This slap was made with inner strength. One could imagine how angry Qing Zhongfan was at this moment. After slapping Qing Mengxiang, Qing Zhongfan ignored him. He turned his head to look at Lu Fungjin and said politely, I'm sorry, Medicine Master Lu. I was careless. I thought you were with Xiao Qin. You don't know, but Xiao Qin and my family have some conflicts, so. Chapter 293. I don't care if there's a grudge or not. There's something wrong with that guy's attitude. Why is this guy called Xiao Qin? Xiao Qin's friend, who is this guy's sister, asked him to go in and wait for her. This guy obviously saw it, but he made the decision to stop him. What's going on? I just couldn't stand it and said a few words of justice, but he scolded me so harshly. LV Fungjin shook his head and said, come on, I was just walking around and saw such an ugly family. I can't afford to offend them, but I can at least hide from them. LV Fungjin turned around and was about to leave. Don't, wait, Medicine Master LV, it's our fault. Please come to our house and give us a chance to make amends. Qing Zhongfan was scared. If he offended Medicine Master LV, his family would be blacklisted by the headquarters of the Warriors Market. Then, no matter which city the Qing family went to, they would be blacklisted by the Warriors Market. No, I won't lower myself to your level. You don't have to be afraid. I won't target you because of this. Medicine Master LV waved his hand and quickly turned around to leave. Teacher, wait for me. I have some questions to ask you. Medicine Master Sun hurried to catch up with LV Fungjin. He didn't even say hello to Xiao Hai and Qing Zhongfan. In his opinion, if he could successfully build a relationship with LV Fungjin and become his disciple, the Sun family's meteoric rise would be just around the corner. Even without the help of the Xiao family, as long as the Sun family could build a relationship with LV Fungjin, it would be hard for them not to prosper. He was a medicine master himself, so he knew the power of a medicine master. Especially when Medicine Master LV was a medicine master of the Warriors Market, which was a far cry from his position. However, Xiao Hai was not angry. After all, Medicine Master LV's identity was there. It was reasonable for Medicine Master Sun to go and flatter him. However, Qing Zhongfan's face was dark and uncertain. In fact, he didn't know whether LV Fungjin's words were true or not. If LV Fungjin wanted to target the Qing family, it would be impossible for the Qing family to keep the title of number one even though the Qing family was the number one aristocratic family in Songming. Although it was not a matter of time for them to be eliminated, once they were suppressed, it would be impossible for the Qing family to keep the title of number one. Not far away, a car was parked there. The people in the car watched the scene quietly. However, when the people in the car heard LV Fangzhen's identity, they could no longer sit still. Jingxian, you go to the banquet by yourself later. Dad will go talk to pharmacist Lu and see if we can make friends. Shen Zhenghao said. Oh. Shen Jingxuan's eyes were fixed on Xiao Qin. As for Lu Yaoshi, Shen Jingxian didn't care much about him. She got out of the car and walked toward the door. Meanwhile, Shen Zhenghao turned the car around and chased after LV Fangzhen and Sun Yukai, who were not far away. Xiao Qin, why are you here? Xiao Hai pretended to have just seen Xiao Qin and asked. Second. Uncle Xiao, nice to meet you. I came with Qing Menjing. I'm her follower, so naturally, I have to help her out at the banquet. Xiao Qin didn't manage to say, second uncle, out loud in the end. Instead, he greeted Xiao Hai politely. Oh. Okay, let's go in together. Xiao Hai nodded and didn't say much. His expression was as cold as ever, as if Xiao Qin wasn't a member of his family. Xiao glanced at Xiao Qin and looked away in disgust, as if she was unhappy that she had such a useless brother. Qing Zhongfan and Qing Mingxiang didn't have the mood to make things difficult for Xiao Qin at this time. Although LV Fangzhen said that he wouldn't target the Qing family, who could guarantee that? What if LV Fangzhen was angry when he went back and attacked the Qing family? But no matter what, although it was annoying, they had to endure it first. There were so many guests at night, and they couldn't let them watch the show. Qing Zhongfan planned to wait until the evening to report to Old Master Qing, and then the family would have a meeting to discuss countermeasures. Xiao Qin also saw Shen Jingxian coming from not far away, so he said, it's Shen Jingxian. I will wait for her. Qing Mingxiang couldn't wait to see Xiao Qin. He wanted to humiliate Xiao Qin before, but he lost face in front of Xiao Qin, which made him very unhappy. Out of sight, out of mind, at the same time, he was thinking about how to make a fool of Xiao Qin again. Qing Zhongfan didn't comment, but Xiao Hai looked at Xiao Qin with some disappointment. Xiao Hai also knew that Xiao Qin liked Shen Jingxian before, but what was Xiao Qin's identity now? And what was Shen Jingxuan's identity? Xiao Qin still had fantasies about her. Wasn't he looking for trouble? Moreover, Shen Jingxian was already Qin Jinpeng's fiancée. Even if Xiao Qin hadn't been driven out of the family, it would be impossible, not to mention that he had been driven out of the family. Xiao Hai hoped that Xiao Qin would pull himself together, but when he saw Xiao Qin and understood Xiao Qin before, he realized that Xiao Qin didn't have much of an outstanding performance after he left the family. Other than being able to endure a bit of hardship, there wasn't much improvement. However, from Xiao Hai's point of view, even if Xiao Qin went to talk to Shen Jingxian wouldn't refuse. Her personality was like that. As expected, Shen Jingxian smiled and greeted Xiao Qin. On the surface, Shen Jingxian was still very normal, no different from usual. Xiao Qin, why are you here alone? Where are Menjing and the others? They went ahead to change into their formal wear. Let's go in and wait for them together. Xiao Qin said. Okay. Shen Jingxian nodded, but after 2 steps, she whispered without opening her mouth, be careful at the banquet. Don't touch me. I'm just an attendant at the banquet. I'm probably busy to death. Xiao Qin didn't answer her question, but Shen Jingxian was relieved after hearing it. What she was most afraid of was that her relationship with Xiao Qin would be discovered. If that happened, she wouldn't know how to face Qing Menjing. Secondly, she couldn't fall out with the Qin family now. Qing Zhongfan, Xiao Hai, and the others walked in front. Xiao Qin and Shen Jingxian walked behind. Oh right, where's Uncle Shen? Xiao Qin was a little puzzled. There was no reason for Shen Zhenghao not to attend the Qing family's banquet. Even if the Shen family was more powerful than the Qing family, Shen Zhenghao was just a branch of the Shen family in Songning City. Otherwise, it would be impossible to have a marriage alliance with the Qin family. Right, do you know the weird old man called Medicine Master Lu beside you? Shen Jingxian suddenly remembered, so she asked. Oh, I know him, but I'm not familiar with him. I went to a pharmacy to buy medicine, and he is the elder of the pharmacy owner. Xiao Chen said. Oh, my dad seems to want to be friends with him, so I chased after him. If I knew it, I would have asked you to introduce him. Shen Jingxian shrugged. Do you dare? Xiao Chen asked. That's true. Shen Jingxian shook her head. The two followed the directions on the road and came to the Qing family's banquet hall. As the head of the Songming family, the Qing family had a luxurious banquet hall comparable to a 5-star hotel in their home. There were many guest rooms, conference rooms, entertainment facilities, and so on. After entering the banquet hall, Xiao Chen found a place to sit down with Shen Jingxian. It didn't take long for Chen Jinpeng and Chao Yuliang to arrive. The two walked quickly to Xiao Chen's side and sat down. Xiao Chen, you came quite early. Chao Yuliang greeted Xiao Chen, but he felt disgusted as if he had eaten a fly. Logically, Xiao Chen should have died long ago, but he was still alive and well. Wasn't this disgusting? The most important thing was that the person behind him would definitely be unhappy when he saw that Xiao Chen was not dead. Chao Yuliang felt a little uncomfortable when he thought of this. I came with Menjing. Xiao Chen said faintly, aren't you early too? Huh, how can I be late for Menjing's birthday? Chao Yuliang laughed and said, right, I'm going to send flowers to Menjing in a while. What do you think, Xiao Chen? Sure. Xiao Chen nodded, but he didn't expect Chao Yuliang to send flowers. Isn't that a conflict with Lu Zhenming? You guys seem to be having a good chat. Before Chao Yuliang could reply, a voice rang out, causing his expression to change slightly. The person who spoke was Cheng Mingxiang. Are you unhappy that you didn't block me at the door? Look at you. Your face looks like sh*t. Did you eat sh*t? Xiao Chen didn't say anything to him at the door, but he was unscrupulous here. He couldn't go against the Qing family, but he didn't have any scruples against Cheng Mingxiang. Anyway, Cheng Mingxiang didn't dare to make a move at the banquet. He was the host. If he made a move against the guests at the banquet, the reputation of the Qing family would plummet. Good, very good. Cheng Mingxiang's face became extremely gloomy, and his eyes were about to spit fire. Xiao Chen, aren't you a waiter? Okay, now, you go and help the waiters prepare the items for the banquet. Cheng Mingxiang thought, who asked you to show off in front of me? I will tire you to death. If you want to stay here, you have to listen to my instructions. Otherwise, get lost at any time. Before Xiao Chen could speak, he heard another voice coming from behind Cheng Mingxiang. Xiao Chang, my cousin-in-law is my personal asset. Do you want to snatch him from me? Xiao Chang. Cheng Mingxiang's face immediately darkened. Who else would call him that except Jean Bebe? Also, she called Xiao Chen cousin-in-law? Didn't it mean that he was also his brother-in-law? However, Cheng Mingxiang dared not argue with Jean Bebe. He could only smile obsequiously and say, I was just joking with him. Jean Bebe nodded and said proudly, that's more like it. I don't think a cockroach like you has the courage to snatch him from me. Cheng Mingxiang coughed and said, how about this? There is still some time before the banquet begins. Why don't I show you the collection room of the Qing family? The aristocratic families in Songming had begun to show off their antiques and treasures to the guests. The Qing family was no exception. This procedure had been agreed upon in advance. Cheng Mingxiang would show the members of the aristocratic families the collection room of the Qing family. It would be a good opportunity for them to witness the wealth of the Qing family. The Qing family was an ancient warrior family. They had a lot of antiques related to ancient warriors, too. That was the difference between the Qing family and other aristocratic families. Chapter 294. Is there any delicious food? Jean Bebe asked. Cheng Mingxiang was speechless. Sister Bebe, they are just some antiques. You can admire them. That's boring. You can't eat them, Jean Bebe said disdainfully. The atmosphere was ruined by Jean Bebe's words. Qing Mengxiang was very depressed, but he couldn't do anything to Jean Bebe. At this moment, Lu Zhenming arrived with his follower, Skinny Monkey, and Qi Zhigao. They were walking in this direction. Behind them were a few people from the upper class. However, they weren't as famous as the 9 great families. Seeing Qi Zhigao, hostility flashed across Qing Mengxiang's eyes. He said calmly, "Since everyone is here, let's go and visit the Qing family's collection room." Qi Zhigao glanced at Xiao Chen and didn't say anything. He followed Qing Mengxiang to the collection room. Lu Zhenming ran over without any scruples. He came to Xiao Chen's side and pulled Xiao Chen half a step back on purpose. They were a few steps away from the people in front of them. "What are you going to do?" Xiao Chen asked. "Xiao Chen, can you help me find out what Chao Yuliang gave Qing Menjing for her birthday?" Lu Zhenming was more concerned about his rival in love, Chao Yuliang. "Oh, I did. He gave her flowers," Xiao Chen said. "Ah. He gave her flowers too. How did he know?" "Young Master Xiao, did you also tell him?" Lu Zhenming stared blankly and asked somewhat unhappily. "Why would I tell him? He knows Qing Menjing better. We've been in the same school for so many years," Xiao Chen said. "Ah, you're right. I'm sorry, Xiao Chen. I almost wronged you." "Ha." Lu Zhenming quickly laughed it off and said, "Right, Xiao Chen, can you help me do some damage? If both of them send flowers, it will be meaningless, and Qing Menjing will not take it seriously. Do you think you can make Chao Yuliang fail to send flowers? Why are you so troublesome? Am I your servant? Do you think we can do whatever you want?" Xiao Chen glared and said angrily, annoyed. No, I'm asking for your help. About the ancient jade, I've already inquired about it for you. There should be a good ancient jade in my father's place. You know, he likes to be cultured, so he has a lot of this kind of antiques for show. I'll get it for you later." Lu Zhenming said immediately. "Oh, bring it to me as soon as possible." "I'll consider helping you," said Xiao Chen. "Okay, no problem. As long as you help me destroy Chao Yuliang's flowers, I will definitely keep my word." Lu Zhenming was overjoyed and said quickly. To be honest, he didn't care about a piece of broken ancient jade. Although this thing was valuable, most of the Lu family's goods were illegal. It couldn't be put on the table. If Xiao Chen liked it, he would give it to him. "Well, let's discuss it and see how to do it." Xiao Chen said, "If you want me to help, you at least have a suggestion, right? How can I help you?" "Brother Lu, how about we let Xiao Chen secretly steal Chao Yuliang's flowers and throw them away?" Thin Monkey thought about it and suggested. "What are you thinking? Are you stupid? If you steal it and Chao Yuliang finds out that the flowers are gone, he can find someone to buy another bunch in minutes. You can't do it." Lu Zhenming wasn't stupid. He immediately thought of the drawbacks of doing this. "How about this? You secretly replace Chao Yuliang's flowers with something else, and then leave the rest to me." Xiao Chen said. "Change it to something else? Change it to what? A flower with a lower grade than my flower? Then Chao Yuliang can also find out, right?" Lu Zhenming didn't dare to scold Xiao Chen for being stupid, so he could only retort weakly. "Doesn't the Qing family have their own vegetable garden? You can just pull out a green onion and make it look like a flower." Xiao Chen waved his hand and said, "As for finding out, he can't find out. I used to pursue Shen Jingxian, so I learned magic, and I'm very good at it. At that time, I will make a camouflage so that he won't think that there's a problem with his flowers." "That works? Is it true? Can he be fooled?" Lu Zhenming was a little uncertain. "Xiao Chen, don't trick me. Although we had a conflict before, aren't we in a cooperative relationship now? You also said that we had a conflict before. Don't you remember that you used a broken bowl to trick me?" Xiao Chen said faintly. I remember. Ugh, I didn't trick you. Lu Zhenming quickly denied it. Okay, everyone knows what happened. At that time, I used a camouflage. Didn't you and Yu Shaochuan fall for it? Xiaochen interrupted his words and said. At that time, it was a camouflage? Really? That's definitely fine. Lu Zhenming was overjoyed after listening. In the beginning, Xiaochen deceived him and Yu Shaochuan. No wonder I felt something was wrong at the beginning. It turned out to be a magic camouflage by Xiao Chen. In the beginning, they suspected that Xiao Chen knew magic. Now it seemed that this was true. However, Lu Zhenming wasn't annoyed. The past was in the past. As long as Xiao Chen successfully tricked Chao Yuliang today, it was worth it. Then you guys go and prepare. Just look at me when the time comes. Xiao Chen said, also, don't forget the ancient jade. Otherwise, I won't help you next time. Don't worry, Xiao Chen. Lu Zhenming nodded. They went to the collection room together, but Thin Monkey disappeared. He sneaked back to the previous banquet hall, and then found the suitcase that Chao Yuliang brought over. When he opened it, there was a bouquet of very beautiful flowers inside. Chao Yuliang prepared to take it out at the critical moment. He deliberately hid it before so that he could give Qing Menjing a surprise. Thin Monkey held back his smile and then took Chao Yuliang's flowers directly out. At this time, the guests in the hall were in a mess. They were talking to each other, and no one noticed him. When he came to the door, Thin Monkey found a trash can and threw the flowers away. He kept the packaging, and then began to wander around the Qing family's courtyard. There were many guests who came to the banquet. In addition to these aristocratic children, there were also some rich people and local small families. These people also wanted to curry favor with the Qing family. Therefore, there were many people in the Qing family's courtyard. When Thin Monkey went out, no one noticed him at all. After wandering around, Thin Monkey found a vegetable farm. At this moment, the servants of the Qing family were harvesting fresh vegetables in the field and preparing to send them to the kitchen. Thin Monkey picked up a few blooming green onions and stuffed them into the previous flower packaging. Then, he turned around and walked back. When he returned to the banquet hall, Thin Monkey happened to see the servants decorating the background of the banquet hall. There happened to be spray paint, so he picked up a can of red paint and sprayed it on the green onions in his hand. The flowers on the green onions turned red. Of course, if you looked at it suddenly, it really looked like a nice bouquet of flowers. Thin Monkey grinned. Xiao Chen's idea was really good. He sneaked back to the banquet hall and put the bouquet of flowers back into Chao Yuliang's box. Then, he sat aside as if nothing had happened. On the other side, Shen Zhenghao caught up with Medicine Master Sun and Lu Fengzhen. He quickly slowed down and stopped beside them. Shen Zhenghao got out of the driveway and asked, Elder Lu, Medicine Master Sun, where are you going? Let me give you a ride. Elder Lu, what do you think? Medicine Master Sun didn't dare to make a decision, so he turned to look at Lu Fengzhen. I don't think it's necessary. I just want to stroll around. I don't have a specific place to go. Lu Fengzhen thought for a moment and said, I don't want to trouble others. It's not troublesome, Elder Lu. We still have a long way to go to leave the manor. There are highways all along the way, and there are no sidewalks ahead. It's not safe. Shen Zhenghao said, unwilling to give up. Elder Lu, Mr. Shen is right. It's really inconvenient if there are no cars here. Medicine Master Sun nodded. He didn't help Shen Zhenghao. The main problem was that neither he nor Elder Lu were warriors. If they walked such a long way, wouldn't they die of exhaustion? Besides, if they encountered a car on the road and couldn't avoid it in time, wouldn't they be killed directly? Okay, then we'll take a car. Lu Fengzhen didn't insist. He just didn't know where Shen Zhenghao came from. He thought that Shen Zhenghao was sent by the Qing family to make up for his mistake. But when he heard that his surname was Shen, it was obvious that he was not from the Qing family. After offending Lu Fengzhen, the Qing family sent an outsider to please them. There was no sincerity at all. Elder Lu, please. Shen Zhenghao quickly opened the back door of the car and held the roof of the car with his hand to prevent Lu Fengzhen from hitting his head. After Lu Fengzhen and Medicine Master Sun got in the car, Shen Zhenghao got in and asked, Elder Lu, Medicine Master Sun, are we going to the warrior market? Okay, let's go for a walk. Lu Fengzhen didn't refuse. He hadn't been to the warrior market since he came to Songning City. It was reasonable for him to go for a walk. Okay. Shen Zhenghao started the car. Little Shen, didn't you go to the Qing family's banquet? Lu Fengzhen asked. My daughter and Qing Menjing's birthday party are good friends. I'm sending her there. Shen Zhenghao said, it doesn't matter whether I go or not. I saw that Elder Lu didn't have a car, so I wanted to give you a ride. Oh, Qing Menjing, right? That girl is very beautiful. What's the relationship between her and Xiao Qin? Lu Fengzhen pretended to ask casually. Qing Menjing used to be Xiao Qin's fiancé. But after Xiao Qin was kicked out of the Xiao family, the Qing family broke off the engagement. Xiao Qin then became Qing Menjing's servant. Shen Zhenghao said. Although he was a little puzzled why Medicine Master Lu asked this, Lu Fengzhen had probably spoken up for Xiao Qin. Oh. Lu Fengzhen nodded. He had heard from Hong Zhu that Xiao Qin was kicked out of the family, but Hong Zhu didn't tell him about Qing Menjing. Now he knew the complicated relationship between Xiao Qin and Qing Menjing. He thought to himself that the Qing family were blind people who couldn't recognize a gem. Not only did they not know him, but Xiao Qin, such a powerful medicine master, broke off the engagement with him. Didn't they know that in many cases, medicine masters had a higher status than warriors? Chapter 295. However, LV Fengzhen didn't want to get involved in this kind of thing. Obviously, Xiao Qin didn't tell the Qing family about him, so LV Fengzhen didn't want to get involved. He just said lightly, the Qing family is too arrogant. I think so too. Apothecary's son nodded in agreement and said flatteringly, in the future, I won't sell the pills and medicines I refine to the Qing family. That's not necessary. We're doing business, so there's no need to be ruthless. LV Fengzhen waved his hand. Originally, he wanted to punish the Qing family, but considering the complicated relationship between Xiao Qin and the Qing family, he didn't intervene. Yes, Apothecary's son, you're right. I understand. Apothecary's son nodded quickly. Little Shen, are you also a member of the Songning family? LV Fengzhen glanced at Shen Zhenghao, who was driving, and asked. He knew Shen Zhenghao's mind very well, but LV Fengzhen wouldn't promise him anything. After all, it was impossible to get close to him just because of a car ride. That was unrealistic. I'm a member of the Shen family of Shiwu province. Shen Zhenghao replied quickly. He had been looking for an opportunity to talk to LV Fengzhen, but he didn't get it. Now that he had the opportunity, he naturally wouldn't let it go. I'm developing my own business in Songning City. Elder LV, why did you come to Songning City this time? Oh, I'm just walking around. LV Fengzhen said, I know about the Shen family of Shiwu province. I've seen your family Shen Changlong. He had some problems with his cultivation, and I helped him with the medicine. Shen Zhenghao said quickly, it turns out that you're the savior of second grandpa. I thank you on his behalf. If you need any elixirs in the future, you can ask little son to take care of you. LV Fengzhen said lightly, which was also a promise to thank Shen Zhenghao for his hospitality. As for asking Shen Zhenghao to look for him, it was impossible. What kind of status did LV Fengzhen have? Even if the Shen family of Shiwu province wanted to look for him, it was not easy to meet them. All right, thank you, old Lu. Shen Zhenghao said gratefully, but in his heart, he was a little disappointed. Medicine Master Sun's level was limited, and the pills and medicines he could make were not lacking in the Shen family. Although it was not a bad thing to have a good relationship with Medicine Master Sun, the help he could provide was limited. Of course, Shen Zhenghao didn't think that LV Fengzhen would give him anything in return. That wasn't realistic. He just wanted to get familiar with LV Fengzhen and see if there was a chance to get closer to LV Fengzhen in the future. If he could let his son, Shen Jingmao, get to know LV Fengzhen, then Shen Jingmao would have one more bargaining chip in the competition for the position of young master. However, there was a limit to how much they could get to know each other. At the very least, LV Fengzhen could be invited to some activities of the Shen family, and it would be best for Shen Jingmao to be apprenticed to LV Fengzhen. Even if Shen Jingmao became LV Fengzhen's nominal disciple, it would be of great benefit. However, Shen Zhenghao could not help but smile bitterly. What kind of status did LV Fengzhen have? Why help him? And LV Fengzhen had nothing to ask of Shen Zhenghao. When they arrived at the warrior's market, LV Fengzhen and Medicine Master's son got out of the car and left. Although LV Fengzhen nodded to Shen Zhenghao with a smile when he got out of the car, Shen Zhenghao knew that it would be difficult to see LV Fengzhen in the future if there was no opportunity. With a sigh, he drove back to the manor of the Qing family. In the collection room of the Qing family, Qing Mingxiang pointed at an ancient jade proudly and said, "This is a waste token used by a famous national general of the Great Xia dynasty in ancient times. It is very memorable. Look, it says National General of the Great Xia dynasty." Xiao Chen's expression changed slightly. "This is an ancient jade? I just need it. How can I get it? Isn't it just an ancient jade? What's there to show off?" Qi Zhigao curled his lips and said disdainfully. Qi Zhigao had long been unhappy with his rival in love. In front of Xiao Xiao, Qi Zhigao acted like a rich, and handsome man, as if the Qing family was the most superior family. "Isn't it just an ancient jade? I say, Qi Zhigao, have you seen an ancient jade before? Let's not talk about other things. With the heritage of your family, even if you have an ancient jade, it can't be used by these famous people." Qing Mingxiang said. "Indeed, my family doesn't have it. Moreover, I have never seen such a valuable ancient jade." Xiao Chen suddenly said at this time. "Huh?" Qing Mingxiang was stunned and looked at Xiao Chen in astonishment. He didn't expect that Xiao Chen would expose his shortcomings. Could it be that he had become stupid after being a follower of his sister recently? That he had begun to have servility in him? Qi Zhigao was also a little puzzled. What did Xiao Chen mean? However, he couldn't admit his relationship with Xiao Chen in public, so he didn't show it. Xiao Xiao also frowned slightly. She really didn't expect that Xiao Chen would say such a thing. Wasn't this boosting the morale of others and diminishing his own prestige? Even if he wasn't a member of the Xiao family now, his words still represented the Xiao family. "Can you show it to me?" Xiao Chen didn't feel ashamed and continued to ask. "Okay, then I will show it to you." Qing Mingxiang's self-esteem was greatly satisfied. Seeing that Xiao Chen was so inexperienced, his anger at the door also dissipated a little. He handed the waist tag of the ancient jade to Xiao Chen and said, "Take a good look at it. As a poor guy, this is probably the only time you can see it in your life." Yes. "I have a good understanding of ancient jade, but I don't usually see ancient jade." Xiao Chen nodded. He carefully took the ancient jade and looked at it. However, he was thinking about how he could take it for himself. Jin Beibei glanced at Xiao Chen and grinned, which made Qing Mingxiang feel weird. Why did this little devil smile for no reason? Shen Jingxian didn't think that Xiao Chen was inexperienced. However, she also knew that Xiao Chen had been collecting ancient jade recently. She always felt that Xiao Chen was going to trick Qing Mingxiang. However, although she and Qing Menjing were best friends, she had nothing to do with Qing Mingxiang. Besides, the relationship between her and Xiao Chen was almost unparalleled. However, Chao Yuliang didn't think that Xiao Chen was inexperienced. Xiao Chen had just won 2 pieces of ancient jade from Li Shanying. How could he not have seen ancient jade? However, he didn't know what Xiao Chen was going to do. He wanted to remind Qing Mingxiang, but he didn't know how to say it. "Idiot, just use the mental cultivation method and absorb all the spiritual qi in the ancient jade. Anyway, it's such a small piece. It will be finished in a short while." This is much worse than your previous jade pendant. While Xiao Qin was thinking, he heard Elder Heaven Ancestor's black-bellied reminder. Yes. Xiao Qin said, but can it be finished in such a short time? The jade ring I got later also couldn't be finished in a short time, right? At that time, you were already at the peak of the 4th level of the qi refining stage. If you wanted to break through, you didn't have enough spiritual qi. So, you had an opportunity to break through. Elder Heaven Ancestor explained, but now you have just consolidated the 5th level of the qi refining stage. There is still a long way to go before you reach the peak of the 5th level. Even if you absorb all the spiritual qi, it won't be enough. Oh. Xiao Qin responded in his heart. He quickly used the mental cultivation method and secretly absorbed the spiritual qi in the ancient jade. It was really cool and exciting to be a thief. On the surface, Xiao Qin was studying it very seriously, like a country bumpkin. Qing Mengxiang was also happy to embarrass him. Anyway, the ancient jade was not bad, so he could look at it if he wanted to. Then he began to introduce other collections of the Qing family. Just as Elder Heaven Ancestor said, the spiritual qi in the ancient jade was not very much. Xiao Qin absorbed it for more than 10 minutes. He felt that his strength was improving at a very fast speed. Although there was still a long way to go before he reached the peak of the 5th level of the qi refining stage, he was already much stronger than before. At least now, he should be able to defeat a warrior with the 6th level of the qi refining stage. Just as Xiao Qin wanted to continue absorbing, Elder Heaven Ancestor suddenly stopped Xiao Qin. Stop. Huh? Xiao Qin was startled and quickly stopped the circulation of the mental cultivation method. Then, he asked doubtfully, what's wrong? Elder Heaven Ancestor, is there something wrong? No, but if you continue to absorb, the ancient jade will break, and you will end up like the jade before. Elder Heaven Ancestor reminded. Oh. Xiao Qin was shocked. If the ancient jade was broken in Xiao Qin's hands, then Xiao Qin would not be able to explain. But if... Thinking of this, Xiao Qin's mouth curved into a faint smile. Hey, have you finished looking? Qing Mengxiang shouted at Xiao Qin. Ah, I have finished looking. But, this ancient jade seems to be fake? Xiao Qin said weakly. Fake? What kind of look are you giving me? Qing Mengxiang was stunned. He stared at Xiao Qin. Don't talk nonsense if you don't understand. This is the Qing family's treasure. This is a very rare waste jade. On the battlefield, it can't be broken by a spear. How could it be fake? Oh, I have said before that I am very knowledgeable about ancient jade. This must be fake. You have been tricked. Xiao Qin said. Xiao Qin, don't say that the grapes are sour. Qing Mengxiang sneered, what? If this jade is real, then later at the banquet, you will kneel and apologize to me. How about saying that you have eyes but cannot see? Destroying Xiao Qin's reputation was one of Qing Mengxiang's wishes. If Xiao Qin did such a thing, then he would never be able to return to the Xiao family, and he would never be able to reconcile with Qing Menjing. Oh, what if it is fake? Xiao Qin asked. Fake? If it is fake, then I will give it to you. Qing Mengxiang snorted. If it is fake, then you will give it to me? Are you sick? Was your head smashed by this jade before? Why would I want it if it is fake? It is not worth a penny. I will feel that it takes up space even if you give it to me for free. Xiao Qin curled his lips and said. Then what do you say? Qing Mengxiang was not angry at this moment. He just asked. As long as Xiao Qin agreed, then he could humiliate him. If I win, then you will give me a real ancient jade. Xiao Qin said. Making a bet in front of so many aristocratic families, he was not afraid that someone would not admit it later. This was also what Qing Mengxiang valued. Chapter 296. Sure, no problem. Qing Mengxiang agreed without thinking. He couldn't wait and said, you can pick any piece of ancient jade here. Now, let's find an expert to identify its authenticity. The reason why Qing Mingxiang dared to bet was that he was confident. This ancient jade waist tag was one of his favorite antiques. After finding an expert to identify it, he even specially tested it. It was indeed extremely hard. It could smash walnuts, nails, and even kill people. Therefore, from Qing Mingxiang's point of view, Xiaochen would lose without a doubt. There was only one result of this bet. That was, he would win and Xiaochen would suffer a crushing defeat. Well, what expert? Didn't you say that this is hard iron jade? You try your best to smash it on the ground. If it doesn't break, then it's really hard iron jade. If it breaks, then it's not. Xiaochen said directly. Even a slightly harder jade can't break it. You will admit it if I smash it? Qing Mingxiang didn't believe it was so simple. I mean, this jade is of inferior quality. Golden jade on the outside is rotten on the inside. As long as it's really good ancient jade, it doesn't matter if it's hard iron jade or something else, you win. Xiaochen said. Really? Qing Mingxiang was amused. Since you said so, I will fulfill your wish. After that, Qing Mingxiang raised the ancient jade waist tag in his hand and slammed it on the ground, making a loud "pa" sound. Qing Mingxiang was feeling pleased with himself, waiting for everyone's shock and angry praise, as well as Xiaochen's bitter expression. However, what he waited for didn't come. What he waited for was a wave of shock and a piercing pain from his leg, as if something had burst open. He lowered his head and was suddenly dumbfounded. The ancient jade waist tag was broken and fell to the ground. How is this possible? However, the truth was the truth. Nothing was impossible. You see, I said that your ancient jade is fake, but you didn't believe me. What eyesight do I have? Although I couldn't afford this thing in the past, I have seen a lot of it. Xiaochen shook his head and said disdainfully, the middle of your broken thing is bad. It's not an ancient jade at all. Whose ancient jade is so bad? This. Qing Mingxiang thought, could it be that Xiaochen secretly swapped it? However, it was impossible. In front of so many people, how could Xiaochen do it secretly? Moreover, he did not know beforehand that he would be bringing everyone here for a tour, nor did he know that he would have such a token. Moreover, Qing Mingxiang was very fond of this waist token. He often held it in his hand and played with it. Therefore, he remembered some of the markings and patterns on the ancient jade waist token very clearly. Just now, he took a look at it, and there was no doubt that it was his ancient jade. Could it really be fake? Otherwise, why would it shatter into pieces? But it wasn't like this before. Qing Mingxiang muttered to himself in confusion, I tried it before, but it didn't break no matter how hard I hit it. Oh, I heard that there's a way to fake it. It's to soak the fake jade in some chemicals. It's hard on the outside, but after a long time, it'll be exposed when the drug wears off, Xiaochen said. Qing Mingxiang's face was very ugly. Although he didn't want to believe it, he had no choice because the facts were in front of him. He had to believe it. Okay, I'm blind. I lost. Qing Mingxiang was also able to accept it. In fact, it was useless for him to deny it now. After all, there were so many people watching. If he didn't admit it, it wouldn't just be Qing Mingxiang's face, but the face of the Qing family. Oh, then I'll choose the ancient jade. Xiaochen nodded and began to choose the ancient jade in the display cabinet. Okay. Although Qing Mingxiang was heartbroken, and he would inevitably be scolded by old Master Qing afterward, it wasn't good to regret it this time. Fortunately, he saw that Xiaochen's gaze stopped on a piece of inconspicuous ancient jade. This ancient jade didn't have any origin, but its quality was a little better. It seemed that Xiaochen didn't know the origin of the ancient jade at all. He only paid attention to the ones with good quality. However, this also confirmed the fact that Xiaochen had studied ancient jade. The quality of this jade was indeed very good, but it didn't have a name. I'll take this one. Xiaochen picked up a piece of spiritual jade that contained more spiritual energy. In fact, it was impossible for Xiaochen to check it one by one. If he checked the entire collection room, it would be too fake. Moreover, it would easily expose his purpose. A quick battle was the king's way. No problem. Seeing the spiritual jade in Xiao Chen's hand, Qing Mingxiang suddenly breathed a sigh of relief. Sure enough, Xiao Chen chose this piece, so Qing Mingxiang quickly agreed. Okay, take the ancient jade. Then let's go out. The banquet is about to start. Qing Mingxiang was not in the mood to show off his wealth anymore. After being fooled by Xiao Chen, he was the one who lost face in the end. Although no one dared to laugh at him, Qing Mingxiang knew that Qi Zhigao and the others might not necessarily be gloating in his heart. As expected, when they came out, the banquet was about to start. The waiters had already started to serve desserts and drinks. The birthday banquet was in the form of a buffet. The guests could take whatever they needed. Xiao Chen and the others returned to their previous seats. As the heir of the Qing family, Qing Mingxiang naturally had to be busy greeting the guests at this moment. Cousin-in-law, there seems to be a lot of delicious food. Jean Bebe pointed at the table full of delicious food not far away, drooling. There was a super lobster. Xiao Chen was also hungry. He had eaten lunch at noon, but he hadn't had dinner yet. After the crazy cultivation just now, he was quite exhausted. His stomach was growling. Therefore, he said, "Let's go and eat." Great. 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 It's Bebe's favorite. Jean Bebe danced with joy and walked to the buffet table with Xiao Chen. Hey, buddy, where are the plates for the guests? Xiao Chen asked a waiter who was serving the dishes. I'm sorry. The banquet hasn't started yet. No plates are available for the time being, the waiter said. When Xiao Chen was about to say something, he saw Jean Bebe directly grabbing a piece of tiramisu cake and stuffing it into her mouth. Is she going to eat it directly? After thinking for a while, Xiao Chen imitated Jean Bebe. He directly grabbed a piece of egg crisp and put it into his mouth. The waiter next to him was dumbfounded. Are the two of them here for free food and drinks? Cousin-in-law, I want that lobster. Jean Bebe pointed at the lobster not far away and said while chewing the apple pie in her mouth. Oh, okay. Xiao Chen directly pulled the lobster over, broke the shell, and gave it to Jean Bebe. The waiter was at a loss. By logic, those who could enter the banquet hall were all the guests of the Qing family, and there shouldn't be such a situation. However, the two of them were too unconventional. While he was in a dilemma, the waiter suddenly saw Qing Mingxiang who was busy serving the guests. Therefore, he hurried to run over and said, Young Master Qing, look, some guests have started to eat by themselves, but they didn't give us the cutlery, did they? Qing Mingxiang was stunned. The waiter pointed at Xiao Chen's direction and said, They started to eat directly. Qing Mingxiang raised his head and saw that Xiao Chen was peeling the lobster. He was immediately infuriated. The banquet hasn't started yet. How dare you, a servant and a follower, eat by yourself? He was worried that he didn't have a reason to take revenge on Xiao Chen. Therefore, Qing Mingxiang rushed to Xiao Chen at an extremely fast speed. Of course, if he saw Jean Bebe, he would definitely not be so impulsive. However, Jean Bebe had gone to get drinks. Therefore, Qing Mingxiang only saw Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen, you. While running, Qing Mingxiang was thinking about how to humiliate Xiao Chen. Get out of the way. Before Qing Mingxiang could continue, he heard a voice not far away from him. Then, a glass of watermelon juice was poured on his head. It was all red, as if he had been beaten up. Qing Mingxiang touched the red juice on his head with a complicated expression. He was dumbfounded. Xiao Chang, you are an outstanding martial artist of the younger generation. Your reaction is too slow. I told you to get out of the way. Look, you are screwed. Jean Bebe walked over unsteadily. My watermelon juice is in vain. Sister Bebe, why did you pour watermelon juice on me? Qing Mingxiang asked while suppressing the anger in his heart. Oh, I ran too fast and my breasts were too big. So, the watermelon juice was spilled. I didn't do it on purpose. Jean Bebe said, cousin-in-law, when will you treat my breasts? Make them smaller? Xiao Chen asked. No. Just make them not too heavy. I don't want them to be small, Jean Bebe said. Then I have no choice. Here, eat the lobster. It's peeled. Xiao Chen handed the lobster in his hand to Jean Bebe. Okay. The lobster is delicious. Cousin-in-law, you should eat too. Jean Bebe said. Oh, you should eat. There's more here. Xiao Chen dragged another lobster over. There were only 2 lobsters left on the table. The rest had all been eaten. Qing Mengxiang suddenly realized that he was like an idiot. He had wanted to lose his temper, but not only did it turn into a torrent of abuse, he also helplessly discovered that Xiao Chen was only accompanying Jean Bebe to eat. I'm going to take a shower. Qing Mengxiang turned around and was about to leave, full of anger. Wait. The lobsters are almost finished. Tell the kitchen to get 2 more plates. Jean Bebe said to Qing Mengxiang. Okay. Qing Mengxiang realized that he was the king's servant, and Xiao Chen was enjoying himself. However, Jean Bebe had said that Xiao Chen would serve her the whole time. Therefore, he could not say anything else and could only leave gloomily. However, he felt that something was not right while he was walking. Xiao Chen had already broken off the engagement with Qing Menjiang. Why was Jean Bebe still calling him her cousin-in-law? The adulterous couple was so king compatible. Qing Mengxiang thought wickedly, it must be because they have special interests and like to play with brothers-in-law and sisters-in-law. The moment Qing Menjiang showed up, she saw Jean Bebe and Xiao Chen stuffing themselves with food on the other side of the table. She did not know whether to laugh or cry. These 2 guys were really unconventional. However, the young mistress was not surprised at all. They were always like that at home. Seeing a waiter walking over with a plate of spicy rabbit meat, Jean Bebe had sharp eyes. She shouted, cousin-in-law, I want to eat rabbit meat. Chapter 297. Okay. Hardly had Jean Bebe finished her sentence when Xiao Chen picked up a rabbit leg from the waiter's plate and stuffed it into Jean Bebe's mouth. It's delicious. Jean Bebe complimented while eating, cousin-in-law, you should eat it too. Old Master Cheng and the other important guests walked into the banquet hall at this moment too. Next to him was Master Jean. The 2 families were actually somewhat related. Jean Bebe's mother and Qing Menjiang's mother were biological sisters. They were both from the Zhu family. It was also because of that Master Jean came here in person. As for the seniors of the other families, they did not come. After all, it was unnecessary for them to come to celebrate the birthday of a junior like Qing Menjiang. The moment old Master Qing entered the banquet hall, he saw Xiao Chen and Jean Bebe who were feasting by the table. However, since Master Jean was right next to him, it was inappropriate for him to say anything. Besides, he had known Jean Bebe for a long time. Therefore, he would not say anything at this moment. He merely said, Bebe and Xiao Chen seem to be getting along quite well, don't they? In fact, it was also a test. Earlier, when the Jean family made an ambiguous announcement, old Master Cheng was quite confused about the Jean family's attitude, too. Although the 2 families were somewhat related, not to mention that they were relatives, even if it was a marriage based on mutual interests, it was not realistic to think that they could learn each other's plans and secrets in such a way. Therefore, old Master Cheng was quite suspicious about Master Jin's purpose of supporting Xiao Chen. Was it because Jean Bebe and Xiao Chen got along well? Although it was not beneficial for a lady from a noble family to marry a useless young master like Xiao Chen who had been driven out of the family, Gold Fur Lion was a maverick who did not play by the rules at all. Nobody knew what he was thinking. Oh, he's been getting along quite well. Isn't Xiao Chen Menyan's follower? How could he not be with Bebe every day? Elder Jin's reply was a little vague, and couldn't even be considered an answer. Old Master Qing nodded and didn't say anything else. They were all smart people. Seeing that old Master Qing didn't want to say more, they let it go. The banquet began. Accompanied by the grand entrance music, Qing Menjing stepped onto the stage, and the MC kept saying auspicious words. In fact, the birthday banquet of a big family seemed to be a birthday celebration, but in fact, it was a gathering for these upper-class people to build relationships and discuss cooperation. The Qing family also had the same goal. Some of the families and forces that had more or less contact with the Qing family were all present. Qing Zhongming and Qing Zhongfan shuttled among the guests, accumulating connections for the Qing family. "Guests, please present your birthday gifts," said the MC. Those who could present birthday gifts on the stage were all important people. As for those who were not important, no matter how rich they were or how good their gifts were, they were not qualified to go on the stage. At this time, in addition to the children of the big families in Songming, some small families that had close cooperation with the Qing family were qualified to go on the stage. Jean Bebe gave Qing Menjing a doll. After she went on the stage, she didn't come down. Instead, she accompanied Qing Menjing and helped Qing Menjing take care of those gifts. This was also requested by Qing Menjing in advance. Jean Bebe was the first to go on the stage, so that she could help her. Shen Jingxian gave Qing Menjing a crystal corsage. Soon, it was Chao Yuliang's turn to present flowers on the stage. Regarding Chao Yuliang being ranked in front of Lu Zhenming was actually very helpless about this. But who asked the Lu family to be the last of the 9 families? Without Xiao Chen's good idea, Lu Zhenming would definitely be very depressed. However, he was not depressed at this moment. Instead, he was looking forward to it. Thanks to Xiao Chen's help, Lu Zhenming felt lucky. If he hadn't asked for Xiao Chen's help, he would have gone on the stage after Chao Yuliang presented flowers. In that case, he would not have been outstanding at all. But now, Chao Yuliang took out the flowers from the box with a smile on his face, and then walked quickly in the direction of the stage. Xiao Chen had set up an illusion casually. Therefore, Chao Yuliang did not notice that there was something wrong with the flowers in his hand at all. He held his head high and went on the stage excitedly. Then, he knelt on one knee, raised the flowers high above his head, and said with a serious expression, "Menjing, on this important day, I'm giving you a bouquet of flowers. The flowers represent my heart. There are thousands of words that I want to say, but I don't want to say it." Qing Menjing frowned. It was actually normal to give flowers on a birthday, but there was something wrong with the way Chao Yuliang presented the flowers. It was obviously a gesture. Wasn't it a gesture to propose? If Qing Menjing accepted it, did it mean that she had agreed to Chao Yuliang's proposal? If she refused in front of so many people, it would be inappropriate for Qing Menjing to do that. She took a look at Jean Bebe. Fortunately, Jean Bebe came up to help her. Otherwise, it would be troublesome. That was actually Chao Yuliang's plan. If he presented the flowers in such a way, Qing Menjing would have to accept it. Later, there would be more important scenes. At that time, Chao Yuliang's father would propose to the Qing family on behalf of the Chao family. "Oh, Xiao Liangzi, the flowers are not so good. They look so ugly. But for the sake of your sincerity, I'll accept them reluctantly." Jean Bebe took the flowers from Chao Yuliang's hand casually. "Ugly? How could it be? These are imported roses delivered by air. Besides, why did you accept them?" Chao Yuliang was about to refute her, but he found that the flowers in Jean Bebe's hand were not imported roses at all. What kind of weird flowers were they? Huh? Why do they smell like green onions? Jean Bebe suddenly spoke. She picked up Chao Yuliang's flowers and sniffed them carefully. Then, she suddenly burst into laughter. "Cousin Menjing, Chao Yuliang gave you a bunch of green onions." Qing Menjing had smelled the scent of green onions just now. She thought that Chao Yuliang did not brush his teeth after eating green onions. She did not expect that Chao Yuliang would give her a bunch of green onions. "This is not mine." Chao Yuliang was truly baffled. It was impossible. When he stepped onto the stage just now, he clearly saw a bunch of roses. How did they turn into green onions? Oh, Chow Yuliang, thank you for your gift. Qing Menjing nodded. Bebe, take them home and ask Xiao Chen to cook. Okay. Bebe loves sea cucumbers with green onions. Liangzi, bring some more sea cucumbers here tomorrow, said Jean Bebe. Okay. Chow Yuliang nodded in a daze. He did not know what to say. Ha 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 ha. The guests below the stage all found it funny. However, who did not know Chow Yuliang's identity? They did not dare to laugh casually at this moment. However, Lu Zhenming was different. He and Chow Yuliang were sworn enemies. Naturally, he did not mind mocking him. Who? Hearing the ear-piercing laughter, Chow Yuliang trembled all over. He turned around, only to see Lu Zhenming convulsing with laughter. Lu Zhenming. It must be Lu Zhenming. Chow Yuliang gnashed his teeth. He did not doubt it at all. It was definitely him. Why didn't he think of it before? He should have been more vigilant. Since someone started to laugh, the other guests also laughed. Anyway, the law did not punish the masses. Hearing the guests below the stage laughing, Chow Yuliang felt that he had no face to continue. He could only postpone the proposal for a while. At least, he had to get off the stage to appease the people's mockery. However, who could tell him what was going on? It was a rose. How did it turn into a green onions? The packaging of the flowers was chosen by him, but the thing inside was different. After getting off the stage in low spirits, Lu Zhenming went up to present the flowers with his head held high. Although it was Jean Bebe who received the flowers on his behalf, Lu Zhenming felt that he was more respected than Chow Yuliang. Then, it was time for the group meal. Qing Menjing and Jean Bebe also got off the stage and sat beside Xiao Chen and Shen Jingxian. Chow Yuliang also adjusted his mood. Seeing Qing Menjing, he said with an apologetic smile, "Menjing, I was just joking. Please don't mind me." At this moment, he could not blame it on Lu Zhenming. Firstly, he had no evidence. Secondly, it would be troublesome to explain. He might as well say that it was a joke. Oh, it's nothing. I happened to run out of green onions at home. Your gift came just in time. Qing Menjing nodded. Don't forget the sea cucumber, Jean Bebe reminded him. I won't, Chow Yuliang said hurriedly. The awkwardness from before was barely resolved. Chow Yuliang hurriedly called out to his father, who was not far away. Everybody, please be quiet. Mr. Chow Yanli of the Chow family in Songning has something important to announce. At this moment, the voice of the MC came. Chow Yanli had informed the Qing family in advance. Although the Qing family did not agree directly, they agreed to let him announce this news publicly. Hearing that the second-generation member of the Chow family wanted to announce something, the whole place became quiet at once. Dear guests and friends from well-known families, good evening. I'm Chow Yanli of the Chow family in Songning. On this beautiful night, on the beautiful occasion of Miss Qing Menjing's 20th birthday, I have something important to announce to you. On this special occasion, on behalf of the Chow family, I formally propose a marriage to the Qing family. My son, Chow Yuliang, is Miss Qing Menjing's classmate. They are childhood sweethearts. Although I can't guarantee that my son is a talented young man, he is young and promising. I hope that old Master Qing can agree to this marriage, Chow Yanli said in a tone that was neither servile nor overbearing. Well, Chow Yuliang, I know this young man. He has the strength of stage 3 internal force. He is indeed a talented young man. It is no exaggeration. He is much stronger than some useless young masters. Besides, he has endured for so many years, so he is very smart. Old Master Qing nodded with a smile. However, he did not give a clear answer about the marriage. He did not deny it, nor did he affirm it. However, his attitude made Chow Yuliang feel relieved. As long as old Master Qing did not reject it explicitly, it meant that there was still hope. Otherwise, if old Master Ching did not like it, he could just reject it directly. There was no need to say that. Chapter 298. However, when old man Ching spoke, he deliberately pointed out one thing, and that was that he was much stronger than some useless young masters. As for who this useless young master was, he believed that everyone present knew very well, and that was Xiao Qin. Moreover, old Master Ching also pointed out that Qiao Yuliang had been tolerating before. Therefore, pretending to be a playboy was not a big deal. It could only be said that he was tolerating. However, people like Xiao Qin were purely stupid and useless. Of course, old Master Ching did not agree directly. It was not that he looked down on Qiao Yuliang. In fact, he really liked Qiao Yuliang. In the Songning family, among the outstanding young talents who were not engaged, only Qiao Yuliang was left. The others were basically engaged. Old Master Ching did not like those who were not engaged. However, due to the restraint of the first aristocratic family, it was impossible for him to agree to the Qiao family so hastily at the banquet. Therefore, he maintained a non-committal attitude. Qiao Yuliang, hurry up and thank your Grandpa Cheng for his praise. Qiao Yuliang immediately glanced at Qiao Yuliang and reminded him. Thank you, Grandpa Cheng, for thinking highly of me. In fact, I'm not that good. Qiao Yuliang quickly stood up and picked up the wine glass in fear and trepidation. He raised it high and said, Grandpa Cheng, as a junior, I'd like to toast you 3 times. Bottoms up first. Do as you please. This was a large glass for drinks. Even if it was beer, it would not feel good to drink it in one gulp. Moreover, the glass Qiao Yuliang brought was white wine. However, he was a cultivator at the peak of stage 3 inner force, so he would not have a problem drinking it. Qiao Yuliang drank 3 glasses in a row. His face was flushed and he said, I've been pursuing Menjing for many years. I hope Grandpa Ching can help me. Old Master Ching did not answer. He just picked up the glass in front of him and took a sip. In fact, in the eyes of these smart people, this action was considered as accepting Qiao Yuliang's toast. It meant that he basically agreed with what Qiao Yuliang said. Otherwise, old Master Ching would definitely not drink this glass of wine. Well, Qiao Yuliang is a good kid. He can drink well too. Old Master Ching put down the glass and said so. Qiao Yuliang was immediately relieved. Old Master Cheng's words actually meant that he had agreed to the possibility of marriage. Next, it was up to the Qiao family to propose the marriage. Qiao Yuliang was overjoyed. He bowed to old Master Cheng and sat down. However, because he had drunk a lot of drinks before, and he drank 3 glasses of wine in a row, he suddenly felt a need to pee, so he got up and went to the toilet. Qiao Yuliang understood old Master Cheng's meaning, so did Qing Menjing. Her heart tightened. She did not expect that her family would change her fiancé so soon. In the past, she dreamed of replacing Xiao Qin. But now, she did not want to do it. If it was possible, it would be better if it was Xiao Qin. However, she also knew that it was impossible for her and Xiao Qin to be together. Her family would not agree, but she also did not want to marry Qiao Yuliang. She used her foot to kick Xiao Qin under the table. Xiao Qin was stunned and wondered who kicked him. Could it be Jean Bebe? However, when he turned around, he saw Qing Menjing glaring at him from a seat away. This made Xiao Qin very confused. How did I offend this missy? Why is she looking at me like that? However, Qing Menjing withdrew her gaze quickly. She took out her phone and started to play with it, which made Xiao Qin more confused. However, Xiao Qin felt the phone in his pocket vibrate slightly. Xiao Qin took it out and received a message from the missy, Hey, I don't want to marry Qiao Yuliang. Then what should we do? Why don't you stand up and refuse him? Xiao Qin asked. Actually, Xiao Qin felt very uncomfortable in his heart just now. It was as if someone had snatched away something that belonged to him. However, he only felt uncomfortable. He wasn't nervous. Xiao Chen could kill a fool like Xiao Yuliang at any time. The main reason was that the person behind Xiao Yuliang would show up. Besides, Xiao Yuliang often gave him money, so Xiao Chen kept him alive until now. Because it's all your fault, I've decided to let you solve it for me, said Qing Menjing. What does it have to do with me? Xiao Chen was a little surprised. You failed to live up to expectations, and the engagement was broken off. Otherwise, how could Xiao Yuliang have the chance to propose? Said Qing Menjing. Okay, I'll think of a way. Xiao Chen was a little speechless, but since it was the Missy's request, he also stood up and walked in the direction of the door. In the past, as the fiancé of the Missy, Xiao Chen did not bear the responsibility of a fiancé for a day. Of course, he did not enjoy the treatment of a fiancé. However, generally, the responsibility came first, and then the treatment. If the other party didn't like you, what treatment would they give you? Therefore, although Xiao Chen was sure that Xiao Yuliang wouldn't be able to stir up trouble, he still planned to destroy it to make the Missy feel at ease. Otherwise, she would have trouble sleeping and eating when she went home. Xiao Chen also went to the bathroom. Xiao Yuliang was peeing inside, but when he finished, before he could turn around, Xiao Chen cut the back of his neck with his palm. With Xiao Chen's current strength, which was equivalent to the strength of a stage 6 inner force martial artist, it was easy to deal with Xiao Yuliang, who was at the peak of stage 3 inner force. Xiao Yuliang fainted without saying a word. Xiao Chen directly took off his clothes and put them on himself. Xiao Yuliang's figure was similar to his. Although there was some difference, the clothes they wore were not too different, because they were both XXL. After doing all this, Xiao Chen took Xiao Yuliang to the single toilet room, closed the door, and then used Yuan Qi to control the lock inside from the outside to lock the door. Then, he walked back to the banquet hall. At the door of the banquet hall, he directly used the ability of a stage 5 refinement stage cultivator to transform his appearance into Xiao Yuliang's. Of course, Xiao Chen didn't speak directly. Instead, he walked back to his seat and sat down quietly. Everyone, please be quiet. Old Master Cheng has something important to announce to everyone. At this time, the voice of the MC sounded again. When the guests heard that Old Master Cheng was going to speak, they immediately quieted down. Old Master Cheng was the well-deserved host here. Dear guests and friends of the Qing family, first of all, thank you very much for coming here to attend my little granddaughter Menjing's birthday party. On behalf of the Qing family, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to you. Just now, Mr. Chao of the Chao family proposed to the Qing family. I will consider this matter, but on this beautiful night, I have a more important thing to announce to everyone. That is, on behalf of the Qing family, I formally propose to the Xiao family. Old Master Cheng said in a loud voice. However, the words of Old Master Cheng made everyone present a little dumbfounded and confused. On behalf of the Qing family, propose to the Xiao family? Didn't the Qing family and the Xiao family just cancel the engagement not long ago? Why did they start to propose again? What did this mean? Could it be that they want to reconcile? In fact, Chao Lian's expression changed. He also thought so. As for the word, propose, he didn't think much about it. His previous thinking made him think that Old Master Cheng was talking about the matter between Qing Menjing and Xiao Chen. At this time, even Qing Menjing's expression was a little strange. However, she didn't know why. In her heart, she didn't have the previous resistance. Instead, she seemed to be relieved. My grandson, Qing Mingxiang, has been in love with Xiao Xiao from the Xiao family for a long time. I have talked about this with Old Master Xiao and Xiao Yuanshan before, so I plan to announce this news tonight. Do you think that they are a good match? Seeing the expressions of the guests below, Old Master Qing knew that they had misunderstood, so he added with a smile. After hearing this, everyone was relieved, including Chao Lian. However, Qing Menjing's expression was a little ugly. For a moment, she even thought that Xiao Chen's efforts were effective. Although she didn't know how Xiao Chen convinced her grandfather, she actually believed that it was Xiao Chen who did it. Because Xiao Chen promised to help her destroy it, in Qing Menjing's opinion, he would definitely do it. But now, Qing Menjing couldn't help but feel a little disappointed. It turned out that she had thought too much. Indeed, no matter how powerful Xiao Qin was, he couldn't influence her grandfather's thinking. I don't think they are a good match at all. Qiao Yuliang, who was not far away, suddenly stood up with a whoosh and shouted loudly at this moment. His voice was so loud that everyone quickly quieted down. They looked strangely at Qiao Yuliang, who suddenly jumped out to oppose. Xiao Qin finally found a good entry point to kill two birds with one stone. To be honest, Xiao Qin didn't approve of letting Xiao Xiao marry Qing Mingxiang, so he must definitely find a chance to destroy it, and now was a good opportunity. Old Master Cheng was stunned. He didn't expect that the person who opposed wasn't from the Xiao family, but Qiao Yuliang from the Qiao family. What does this mean? What does it have to do with me? However, Old Master Cheng still asked, Qiao Yuliang, what do you think? Why do you say that they are not a good match? Old C*NT, are you muddle-headed? With Qing Mingxiang's stupid look, how can he be a match for the beautiful Xiao Xiao? I don't think so. Xiao Qin imitated Qiao Yuliang's voice and said. What? Old Master Cheng looked at Qiao Yuliang in astonishment. What did he scold me for? Old C*NT. Is he crazy? Do you know why I don't agree? Because I've liked Xiao Xiao for a long time. Xiao Qin continued, I plan to marry Qing Menjing first, and then marry Xiao Xiao as a concubine. Anyway, the Xiao family is on the decline, so I'll screw them twice more. First, I'll kill Xiao Qin, and then I'll destroy the Xiao family. Xiao Xiao is considered an ordinary woman, so she should be my concubine. Qing Mingxiang, you little B****, how dare you steal a woman from your brother-in-law? Do you know that after I marry into the Qing family, I'll have the final say in the 3 generations? Not only will I swallow the Qing family, but I'll also swallow the Xiao family. You. Old Master Cheng was fuming with anger. Qiao Yuliang, what nonsense are you talking about? Are you drunk? Qiao Yuliang was also shocked. He didn't expect that Qiao Yuliang could say such disgraceful words. He was digging his own grave. Chapter 299. Xiao Qin glared at him and cursed with his hands on his waist. I did drink a little too much, but what I said was what I dared not say normally. I just can't accept it. You old B** are blind. Why did you betroth Qing Menjing to Xiao Qin, but not to me? Qing Mingxiang's face was very gloomy. He also looked at Qiao Yuliang in disbelief. How dare this guy say such a thing? He was going against the heavens. Qiao Yuliang, get out of here. Go wash my face and sober up. You are drunk. Qiao Yuliang pointed at Qiao Yuliang and shouted angrily. I can wash my face, but what I said was from the bottom of my heart. Xiao Qin swung his sleeves and walked out of the banquet hall quickly. All of a sudden, the atmosphere in the banquet hall became extremely awkward. Old Master Cheng was so angry that he was trembling. He glared at Qiao Yuliang fiercely. He didn't believe that Qiao Yuliang was talking nonsense. He guessed that he had drunk too much and was telling the truth. In that case, he really had to reconsider his relationship with the Qiao family. He didn't want to find such an ambitious person. However, because of Qiao Yuliang's interference, the marriage proposal with the Xiao family became unsettled, and he didn't have the mood to continue with it. Xiao Qin went to the washroom quickly. He opened the door and changed Qiao Yuliang's clothes. Then, he put him by the sink, turned on the cold water, and splashed it on his head. Qiao Yuliang would probably wake up soon. After doing all this, Xiao Qin returned to the banquet hall quietly and sat in his seat. Jean Bebe looked at Xiao Qin. Suddenly, she lowered her head and looked at Xiao Qin's shoes. Then, she grinned at Xiao Qin and said, You are so awesome, cousin-in-law. Xiao Qin was slightly taken aback. However, through Jean Bebe's expression, Xiao Qin knew that Jean Bebe had discovered the problem. Previously, He didn't change shoes with Chow Yuliang because the size of the shoes was different, but the color was similar. Xiao Qin was standing behind the table just now, so very few people would notice his shoes, except for those who were close to him. However, those who were close to them might not have noticed it. Little did they know that Jean Bei's observation skills were so strong that she discovered the problem immediately. Xiao Qin smiled faintly and didn't deny it, but Qing Menjing didn't notice. When she saw Xiao Qin coming back, she immediately said, "Hey, where did you go just now? Did you see Chow Yuliang go crazy just now?" "No, I saw him angrily running to the bathroom to wash his hair," Xiao Qin said. "Oh." Qing Menjing shrugged and said, "Then it's fine. You don't have to think of ways to destroy it. He has no chance." "Okay." Xiao Qin nodded. At this point, the atmosphere of the banquet had been completely destroyed by Chow Yuliang. There was really no need to continue. Old Master Qing snorted coldly and stood up to leave. He was too ashamed to stay here any longer. Not long after, Chow Yuliang came back with his wet hedgehog hair. However, as soon as he entered the banquet hall, he found that many people were looking at him strangely. This made Chow Yuliang a little puzzled. "I just washed my hair. Is it necessary?" In fact, he was also quite puzzled. Why did I wash my hair after going to the bathroom? And I seem to have fallen asleep. But thinking about it, I guess I just drank 3 glasses of wine and got a little drunk. That's why I fainted. "Chow Yuliang, you come here." Chow Yuliang immediately glared at Chow Yuliang, who came in and said angrily. At this moment, old Master Cheng was gone. He didn't care anymore. He was ready to teach Chow Yuliang a harsh lesson. "What are you doing?" Chow Yuliang was somewhat inexplicable, but he still walked over as he was told. "Pa." Chow Yuliang immediately slapped Chow Yuliang's face directly. "Dad, what are you doing?" Chow Yuliang was stunned by the slap. He was at a loss of what to do. "The nonsense you said just now has ruined all the good things that you and Qing Menjing had to do. You immediately go home and reflect on yourself. I'll see if I can help you work harder." Chow Yuliang immediately saw that Chow Yuliang didn't know what was going on. He was even angrier. He didn't even want to say more. "Dad, what's wrong with me? What nonsense did I say?" Chow Yuliang looked inexplicable. "I didn't say anything. I just went to the washroom. You didn't say anything? You must have said a lot, right?" Chow Yuliang was furious. "What did I say? Go back and think about it yourself. Get lost. Get lost now. This is..." Although Chow Yuliang didn't know what was going on, he still didn't dare to disobey his father's words. He turned around and walked to the door. When he was halfway there, he suddenly thought of something. He waved to Qin Jinpeng and signaled him to come out. Qin Jinpeng was also puzzled. Why did Chow Yuliang jump out like a madman just now to embarrass himself? He saw Chow Yuliang summon and quickly followed. "Jinpeng, what happened just now? What happened when I went to the washroom?" Chow Yuliang asked as he walked. "Went to the washroom? What happened?" Qin Jinpeng was stunned. He looked at Chow Yuliang strangely. "Brother Liang, you were crazy just now. Don't you know? I was crazy. What did I go crazy?" Chow Yuliang's heart skipped a beat. He thought, oh no. Previously, his father, Chow Yuliang, said that he was crazy and talking nonsense. He didn't quite believe it, but since Qin Jinpeng said so, then something must have happened that he didn't know. "Brother Liang, you don't know?" Qin Jinpeng was puzzled. "You talked nonsense at the banquet before. Don't you remember?" "What do I remember? I didn't spout nonsense at all." "Jinpeng, tell me in detail, what's going on?" Chow Yuliang asked. Brother Liang, you really don't know?" Qin Jinpeng repeated Chow Yuliang's words to him before he jumped out and said it. After Chow Yuliang heard it, his face suddenly darkened. He almost fell to the ground. Is this me? Why do I feel like a big dumb asterisk SS? I like Xiao Xiao. When did I like Xiao Xiao? Even if I like her, I don't dare to fight with Qing Mingxiang for a woman. It's true that I want to kill Xiao Qin, but I never thought of annexing the Xiao family. It's even more impossible to annex the Qing family. How can I say such suicidal words? Qiao Yuliang was puzzled. This is obviously not my character. Even if I drank too much, I definitely don't dare to say such words. However, Qin Jinpeng wouldn't lie. After taking a deep breath, Qiao Yuliang stabilized his body that was about to fall and asked, Jinpeng, you didn't lie to me? Did I really say that before? Brother Liang, why would I lie to you about this? I estimate that it will spread throughout the upper class of Songning City tomorrow. Qin Jinpeng said with a bitter face, Brother Liang, you're happy for a moment, but you and Qing Menjing are basically finished. Jinpeng, whether you believe it or not, I seemed to be unconscious for a while before. I didn't say that at all, and it's impossible for me to say that. It's true that I want to kill Xiao Qin, but will I be stupid enough to say it out loud? Isn't that sick? Qiao Yuliang shook his head and continued, furthermore, don't you know whether I like Xiao Xiao or not? When did I pay attention to Xiao Xiao? That's true. Qin Jinpeng nodded after listening. In fact, he also felt that it was quite suspenseful. Qiao Yuliang's behavior was completely different from his usual character of planning before taking action. In the past, it was premeditated to assassinate Xiao Qin. In the face of Xiao Qin's humiliation and blackmail, he could endure it. Why not today? By the way, Brother Liang, are you bewitched? Bewitched? Qiao Yuliang was stunned. You are the one who is bewitched. Yes. Qin Jinpeng nodded in agreement and said, Brother Liang, do you remember when Xiao Qin hadn't transferred to another school yet? One morning when we were in school together, I helped Xiao Qin beat you up. Ugh, there is indeed such a thing. After listening, Qiao Yuliang frowned and pinched his chin. So, you were bewitched at that time? Yes. Qin Jinpeng nodded and said, at that time, I swore to Brother Liang that it wasn't my intention to hit you. I didn't seem to be myself at that moment. Later, I deliberately went to the pharmacist in the Warriors Market to take a look at me. He said that I had dissociative identity disorder. I think, Brother Liang, you are probably the same. At that time, your personality was dissociative identity disorder, so you did some incredible things. After that, you don't know anything. Dissociative identity disorder? Qiao Yuliang nodded. It sounded like it was the case. Could it be that you infected me? How is that possible? Dissociative identity disorder is not contagious. The pharmacist who diagnosed me said that the pressure of us martial artists practicing martial arts is relatively high. Sometimes, if we can't release it, we will have this phenomenon of dissociative identity disorder. Qin Jinpeng explained. In that case, I am really like that. Qiao Yuliang nodded after listening. He had been secretly practicing martial arts and hiding his strength. Speaking of it, the pressure was very high. During this period, because Xiao Qin didn't die, the one behind him was also pressing him. Qiao Yuliang estimated that his subconscious had already developed resentment towards him, so he dared to do such a thing today. It was probably the resentment and repression in the subconscious that caused the mischief. Thinking of this, Qiao Yuliang sighed secretly. I'm really King unlucky. I have dissociative identity disorder at the critical moment. Originally, I could successfully promote to be Qing Menjing's fiancé with this opportunity, but now, everything had to start from scratch. Yes, Brother Liang, what should I do? Why don't you go to the hospital and give a certificate to old Master Qing? Otherwise, we will really be in big trouble this time. Qin Jinpeng said. I can only think of a way slowly. The certificate must be given, but whether old Master Qing believes it or not, I don't know. Qiao Yuliang wasn't worried about old Master Qing now, but someone else. Brother Liang, where are we going now? Asked Qin Jinpeng. Nothing. Just walk with me and relax. Qiao Yuliang was very sullen. Everything was so perfect, but it turned out to be like this in the blink of an eye. Chapter 300. Soon after old Master Qing left, the MC announced the end of the banquet. Everyone was free to leave. After all, there was no need to continue the banquet since it had come to this. Qing Menjing and Jean Bebe had to stay to deal with the aftermath. They couldn't leave for the time being. However, Qin Jinpeng left with Qiao Yuliang, and Shen Zhenghao hadn't come back yet. Therefore, Qing Menjing asked Xiao Chen to send Shen Jingxian home. Shen Zhenghao sent LV Fangzhen and Alchemist's son home and then came back. It was a long trip. The Qing family was quite far away from the warriors' market. Shen Zhenghao didn't know that there would be an accident during the banquet. His idea was to go back directly to pick up Shen Jingxian. It was not good for him to attend the banquet in the middle of the way. He might as well not attend it. Anyway, he could choose not to attend such a banquet. Although Shen Jingxian and Qing Menjing were best friends, the two families didn't have much cooperation in fact. However, when Shen Zhenghao arrived at the Qing family, the birthday banquet had already ended. He asked around and learned that Qing Menjing had asked Xiao Chen to send Shen Jingxian home. Shen Zhenghao chatted with Qing Zhongming and Qing Zhongfan for a while and then drove back. Xiao Chen drove Shen Jingxian to the Shen family's villa. Was it you today? Shen Jingxian asked. How do you know? Xiao Chen asked back. I knew it was you at first glance, Shen Jingxian said. How can I not recognize you? You don't look like me? Xiao Chen was slightly surprised. Since Jean Bebe and Shen Jingxian had noticed it, would the others have noticed it too? Actually, it's quite similar. It's just that you were sitting next to Qin Jinpeng, where Qiao Yuliang used to be, and I was sitting next to Qin Jinpeng. I was too close to you, Shen Jingxian said. I felt that something was wrong at the time. No matter how I looked at it, it was you. Well, you recognized me. Xiao Chen said, but I'm very happy. It seems that you pay attention to me. Humph, tell me, why did you destroy it? Shen Jingxian glared at Xiao Chen. Now, it's impossible for Qiao Yuliang and Menjing to be together. In fact, you also like Qing Menjing? Isn't she my heroine, Mista? Who else can I help if not her? Besides, she said that she doesn't want to marry Qiao Yuliang. Can I just sit back and do nothing? Xiao Chen shrugged and said. He did not give a direct answer because it was not an easy question to answer. His relationship with Qing Menjing was too subtle. Then, why didn't you help me? I don't want to marry Qin Jinpeng. You must like her. You like her. Shen Jingxian said, don't think that I won't know it when you change the topic. Xiao Chen did not know what to say. Last time, Shen Jingxian said that he liked Jean Bebe, and this time, he said that he liked Qing Menjing. Forget it. Anyway, I'm not related to you. You are Qing Menjing's fiancé, and I am Qin Jinpeng's fiancé. Shen Jingxian sighed softly with melancholy in her eyes. There were some things that she really did not know how to deal with. Once her relationship with Xiao Chen was made public, what would be waiting for her? Falling out with her best friend? Opposition from her family? Revenge from the Qin family? Shen Jingxian did not dare to think about it. The car went all the way to the Shen family's villa. However, Shen Jingxian found that the lights in the villa were not on. It seemed that her father was not back yet. Shen Zhenghao would not let go of such a good opportunity to send LV Fangzhen and Alchemist's son back. Is there no one at home? Can I go in and sit for a while? Xiao Chen looked at the pitch-black villa and said to Shen Jingxian. No. If my father stops you at home, you are dead meat. Shen Jingxian quickly shook her head and refused. She would not do something like playing with fire. Then, here. Xiao Chen unfastened the car's seatbelt and pulled Shen Jingxuan's hand. What are you doing? Shen Jingxuan's body stiffened. Her breathing became a little rapid when Xiao Chen held her hand. Xiao Chen pressed the buckle of Shen Jingxuan's seatbelt and pulled her into his arms. Shen Jingxian snorted softly. Her hand, which was held by Xiao Chen, was suddenly wet with sweat. She said nervously, "No," however, before she finished speaking, Shen Jingxian felt that her mouth was blocked. She widened her eyes and looked at Xiao Chen in disbelief. She did not expect Xiao Chen to be so bold. He dared to kiss her in front of her house. Shen Jingxian wanted to refuse, but she did not want to refuse. This was a very complicated and contradictory mentality. Fortunately, Xiao Chen did not do anything excessive except kissing her. This made Shen Jingxian relax slightly. In fact, Shen Jingxian had already accepted kissing. In the sea and in the closet of Qing Menjing's house, although it was unintentional, Shen Jingxian did not reject it in her heart. Not only did she not reject it, but she also faintly liked it. In fact, Shen Zhenghao and Xiao Chen were just after each other. He drove back to the community. From a distance, he saw a car parked at the door of his villa, but the villa was still dark. He couldn't help but be a little surprised. The Shen family's residence was not the kind of independent manor, but a house in the community. Only Shen Zhenghao and Shen Jingxian lived there, so there was no need to build a separate house. Therefore, there were a lot of cars coming and going, but Xiao Chen did not care about the cars around. His car was covered with a dark film. If the window was not opened, no one could see the situation inside. Xiao Chen did not care. Shen Zhenghao thought that it was Xiao Chen's car, and that Shen Jingxian had just come back. However, when he drove closer, he found that no one got out of the car. Shen Zhenghao suddenly became vigilant. Could it be that someone was trying to harm Xiao Chen and Shen Jingxian? He quickly parked the car at the door of another villa, wanting to observe the situation carefully. It didn't take long for Shen Zhenghao to see the door of the car open. Shen Jingxian got out of the car. Under the streetlight, he could clearly see that Shen Jingxuan's hair and clothes were a little messy, and her face was also flushed. Shen Zhenghao was an experienced person. Naturally, he could see that his daughter seemed to have done something adult at a glance. Could it be that Qin Jinpeng sent her back? However, didn't Jingxian say that she didn't like Qin Jinpeng? What was going on today? However, after confirming that his daughter was fine, Shen Zhenghao did not go over immediately. How embarrassing would it be if he were to see this kind of young adultery? So, Shen Zhenghao waited for his daughter to enter the villa, and the car at the door left. Then, Shen Zhenghao started the car again and drove to the villa. Hearing the sound of the car at the door of the villa and the figure who opened the door, Shen Jingxian was shocked. She secretly thought that she was lucky. Fortunately, she pushed Xiao Chen away in time and didn't continue to sink. Otherwise, if she was caught by her father, how would she want to die? "Dad, you're back?" Shen Jingxian adjusted her emotions, turned around, and asked as if nothing had happened. "I went to the Qing family to pick you up. I heard that you had already come back. Did you just arrive?" Shen Zhenghao asked calmly. "No, I arrived for a while." Shen Jingxian said, "Why didn't you call?" "I was waiting for you for a while." "It's nothing. Was it Qin Jinpeng who sent you back?" Shen Zhenghao asked. "Oh, no, Qin Jinpeng went to send Chao Yuliang. Today, Chao Yuliang made a fool of himself at the banquet. Qin Jinpeng went to comfort him, so Menjing asked Xiao Chen to send me back." Shen Jingxian said naturally. "Xiao Chen?" Shen Zhenghao was stunned. Before, he heard Qing Menjing say that Xiao Chen sent Shen Jingxian back. He still didn't believe it. After all, in his opinion, it was impossible for his daughter to have anything with Xiao Chen. But now, even his daughter said that Xiao Chen sent her back. What was going on? What happened to Chao Yuliang? "It's like this." Shen Jingxian told her father about Chao Yuliang's behavior today. She didn't realize that Shen Zhenghao had already suspected her. Shen Zhenghao nodded, but there was a storm in his heart. In other words, Qin Jinpeng really sent Chao Yuliang. After all, the news about Chao Yuliang would spread tomorrow. So, the previous car was driven by Xiao Chen? What's with my daughter's expression just now? Shen Zhenghao was also a martial artist. He didn't think that his eyesight was bad enough to make a mistake. Qiao Yuliang doesn't seem to be such a brainless person. After drinking 3 glasses of wine, he lost his sense of direction. Shen Zhenghao also felt incredible about Qiao Yuliang's behavior. Right, that Land Rover belongs to Xiao Chen. Where did he get the car? Didn't someone look for him to race last weekend? The other party gave it to him, Shen Jingxian said. Xiao Chen's driving skills are really good. He won several races in a row. In fact, Shen Jingshuan's words were to let her father subtly accept Xiao Chen's change. Otherwise, Xiao Chen's impression in her father's mind would be that of a prodigal waste. However, she didn't know that Shen Zhenghao already suspected that there was something between her and Xiao Chen. In the end, Shen Jingxian said a good word for Xiao Chen, which made Shen Zhenghao even more suspicious. Didn't he not know how to race before? How did he know how to race? Shen Zhenghao didn't ask directly. After all, there was no evidence. What he saw just now could be explained that Shen Jingxian drank at the banquet, then slept in the car, and then got off. After all, she fell asleep. Xiao Chen woke her up, and then she needed time to wake up. If Shen Zhenghao asked directly, and if there was really no such thing, wouldn't it be framing his daughter? So, he planned to wait and see. Yeah, I didn't know before. When Shen Jingxian talked about Xiao Chen, she was a little excited. Dad, do you know? Xiao Chen actually knows how to cook, and he cooks very well. He is better than the chefs in our Shen family. Menjing is in luck. Really? Shen Zhenghao didn't think much of it. A man can only settle down by practicing martial arts. What's the big deal about cooking? However, Shen Zhenghao still asked calmly, you seem to be quite familiar with him. Chapter 301. Ah. It's okay. Shen Jingxian was shocked. She suddenly realized that she had said too much. She quickly said, let's not talk about this. Dad, I'm going to take a shower and rest, okay? Shen Zhenghao nodded. He frowned as he watched his daughter go upstairs, although he didn't believe that his daughter would like Xiao Chen. If she really liked him, then Shen Zhenghao would really be in a difficult position. Although he didn't want to interfere with Shen Jingshuan's marriage, Shen Jingxian and Xiao Chen being together wouldn't bring the slightest bit of help to the Shen family. It was even more impossible for it to be of any use to Jing Mao's promotion. Qiao Yuliang went home and lay on the bed. He thought about what happened today, but no matter how he tried, he couldn't remember saying such rebellious words. This was simply courting death. As he was thinking, the phone rang. Qiao Yuliang picked up the phone. When he saw the caller ID, his heart immediately jumped. He took a deep breath, then carefully and respectfully picked up the phone. Boss, boss? Boss, you mother****. You are my boss. There was an angry voice on the other side of the phone. Qiao Yuliang, you're good, aren't you? Do you think that you are very bad *SS just because you are at the peak of the 3rd stage of inner force? Are you a young talent now? You don't put me in your eyes now? I don't dare. Qiao Yuliang wanted to cry but had no tears. Don't dare? I think you are very daring. It's not that you don't dare, it's that you are too daring. The boss was so angry that he scolded, F***CKU. You like Xiao Xiao? You want to be a concubine? You really dare to say it? You want to teach me a lesson? You want to be the 3rd generation of the Qing family? Are you going against the natural order? Alright, Qiao Yuliang, I can't control a god like you, but you better remember this sentence for me, No Zuanity, why do you try? Wait. Boss, young Master Cheng, I was wrong, but that really wasn't my intention. Think about it, I wouldn't dare to go against you even if I had 10 guts. Am I looking for death? Qiao Yuliang was shocked. He was going to be abandoned. Others didn't know, but he knew the horror behind the scenes. It turned out that Chao Yuliang's boss was actually Qing Mingxiang from the Qing family. No wonder he was so angry and was about to explode. Chao Yuliang was his underling, a pawn to the execution of the plan. How dare he snatch the boss's woman? Not only that, but he also wanted to live with the Qing family. Don't tell me that you weren't the one who jumped out to show off at the banquet? Qing Mingxiang asked coldly. Young Master Cheng, listen to my explanation. Chao Yuliang said, think about it. It's impossible for me to like Xiao Xiao. I have never interacted with her, and I have only seen her a few times. Moreover, she used to be Xiao Chen's sister. Xiao Chen and I are sworn enemies. Why would I like his sister? I don't get any benefits by doing this. I lost you, a big backer, and I became enemies with the Xiao family and the Qing family. How sick am I? What do you mean? Qing Mingxiang wasn't stupid. He was really angry before, but now he thought about it carefully. It seemed that what Chao Yuliang said was not unreasonable. Because Chao Yuliang really didn't get any benefits by doing this. Unless, Chao Yuliang had the ability to turn against Qing Mingxiang. But now it seemed that if he really had this ability, he wouldn't have to pretend to be a coward and beg for mercy on the phone at this moment. So it showed that Chao Yuliang didn't want to turn against him. Young Master Cheng, it's not just me. Qin Jinpeng also had such a strange situation before. He had already relied on me, but in school, Xiao Chen asked him to help beat me up. As a result, Qin Jinpeng beat me up. Chao Yuliang told Qing Mingxiang about Qin Jinpeng's incident as an example. Later, he went to find a pharmacist to check his body. He said that he was under too much pressure from practicing martial arts. He had some split personality disorder, so I feel that I might have it too. Qing Mingxiang was a little speechless. What kind of bullsh*t reason is this? However, Chao Yuliang said it so confidently that he really believed it a little. You mean that you were schizophrenic before, and what you said was nonsense? It wasn't your own idea? Yes, yes, yes. That's it. Chao Yuliang quickly replied, Young Master Cheng, you know me. All these years, when did I not do things according to your wishes? From the beginning, I targeted Xiao Chen, became enemies with him, and stepped on him. Later, I cooperated with you to act and made Xiao Chen fall off the cliff. I did my best. Okay, I got it. I will remember this first. It depends on your performance in the future. After Qing Mingxiang listened, he said indifferently and hung up the phone. He knew that although Chao Yuliang's last words showed loyalty, it was actually a threat to him. If the things he had done were to be publicized, although Chao Yuliang wouldn't have it easy, Qing Mingxiang wouldn't have it easy either. After all, the assassination of Xiao Chen could be a big or small matter. Phew. Chao Yuliang breathed a sigh of relief and threw the phone on the bed. He knew that he had finally passed the test. He took off his sweaty shirt and walked into the bathroom, ready to take a cold shower. However, if Qing Mingxiang passed this test, what about me and Qing Menjing? Moreover, I publicly said at the banquet that I wanted to kill Xiao Chen. In the future, if I go out with Xiao Chen, will Xiao Chen still listen to me? However, I can only take one step at a time. Chao Yuliang felt that he was extremely sullen. Qing Mingxiang hung up the phone, and his expression returned to its usual gloomy state. There was no longer the anger from before. He put the phone aside and said to the middle-aged man sitting opposite him, Father, this matter shouldn't be Chao Yuliang's original intention. He also explained that he had no reason to do so. I heard your conversation. It seems like this is the case. Chao Yuliang has no reason to betray us. Qing Zhongfan nodded and said, I just investigated it. Chao Yuliang and the Li family are only in a cooperative relationship. Li Shanning of the Li family is blind. It is unlikely that he will give any promise and help to Chao Yuliang. Li Shanning can't represent the Li family. Moreover, I don't think that even if Chao Yuliang got an illusory promise from Li Shanning, he would dare to fall out with our Qing family. Indeed, so I believed his words later. Qing Mingxiang said, this guy really can't do anything right, but he's good at spoiling things. The main problem now is how to deal with the aftermath. Qing Zhongfan said, Chao Yuliang publicly said that he would harm Xiao Chen at the banquet. This is not a big deal. The main problem is that the marriage proposal with the Xiao family was interrupted. It doesn't matter if it's harmful to Xiao Chen. He and Xiao Chen used to be enemies. No one will think too much about it. As for the matter between me and Xiao Xiao, we can only find another opportunity. I'm afraid that Qi Zhigao will take it first. Qing Mingxiang said. You don't have to worry about this first. I will find another opportunity for you. Now your grandfather is angry. This matter can only be delayed. Qing Zhongfan said. Stubborn old man. Qing Mingxiang curled his lips. Ignorant and arrogant. He wants to save face. If he could get involved, the Xiao family would have long been in the Qing family's pocket. Shut up. Don't talk nonsense. Qing Zhongfan glared at Qing Mingxiang. No matter what, he is your grandfather. Hey, I'm so excellent, but he turned a blind eye to me before and always liked little uncle. Qing Mingxiang was very resentful about this. Well, don't mention this again. Qing Zhongfan said, come with me to apologize to your grandfather later. He already knows about Lu Fengzhen's matter. I was impulsive in this matter. Qing Mingxiang said, when I saw Xiao Chen before, I saw that this guy didn't die again and again, just like a cockroach. I was angry and humiliated him a few times. I didn't expect that old man to be so powerful and still stand by Xiao Chen's side. I thought they were together. Well, this matter is over. I have told them about this matter. They said that if Lu Fengzhen really put pressure on our Qing family through the warriors' market, they will not sit by and ignore it. They will help us secretly. Qing Zhongfan said, the urgent task is to kill Xiao Chen and annex the Xiao family. This is a death order from them. It stands to reason that after I kill Xiao Chen and marry Xiao Xiao, the Xiao family will have no sons. In the future, the Qing family will be in the pocket. This is good for our Qing family. What does it have to do with those people? Do they have enmity with the Xiao family? Qing Mingxiang has been a little puzzled about the intention of the force behind his father. Don't ask what you shouldn't ask. What is the identity of those people? What is their strength? Why would they explain this to us? Qing Zhongfan said, we just need to do a good job to satisfy them. After we annex the Xiao family, they will find a way to make us the same as the Shen family and the Li family. I understand. During this period, my main task is to find a way to kill Xiao Chen. Let Chao Yuliang make up for his mistake. Qing Mingxiang nodded and responded. He didn't know who the force behind his father was, but his father wouldn't lie to him. To be able to make the Qing family the same as the Shen family and the Li family, the force must have unimaginable power. By the way, Dad, will there be any changes in the cooperation between the Xiao family and the Sun family? The Sun family. If I'm not wrong, they should have the same idea as us. It's just that they want to use the Xiao family to rebuild the Sun family, and we want to annex the Xiao family. Qing Zhongfan said. Then, if the Xiao family is annexed by the Sun family. Qing Mingxiang couldn't help but worry. Hey, annexed? That's even better. We will annex the Sun family. Although we can annex the Xiao family, it won't look good after all. Qing Zhongfan sneered, if the Xiao family is annexed by the Sun family, and you, as the son-in-law of the Xiao family, take revenge for the Xiao family and annex the Sun family, others will say that you are loyal. You're now standing on the moral high ground. Chapter 302. Wonderful. You're so thoughtful. Qing Mingxiang couldn't help but give him a thumbs up. He was worried that he was too slow, but now it seemed that he should pretend that he didn't know anything and let the Sun family do whatever they wanted. When the Xiao family was swallowed up, he would stand up and kill the Sun family together. But Medicine Master Sun is not a pushover, medicine master's son is a big shot in Songming, but he is nothing outside of Songming. The person behind me will definitely help. Provided that we do it well. Qing Zhongfan said. After the two finished their conspiracy, they went to old Master Cheng's room. No one knew what they said, but they succeeded in calming down old Master Cheng's anger. Xiaoqun returned to the villa, but Qing Menjing and Jean Bebe didn't come back. Qing Menjing sent a message saying that she wouldn't come back and would stay at the Qing family for one night. Looking at the message, Xiaoqun was a little speechless. If he had known that they wouldn't come back, he would have asked Song Huawu to come. Didn't this girl want to investigate Yi Xiaoya? However, Xiaoqun and Yi Xiaoya were comrades who had gone through thick and thin together. It wouldn't be good for him to help Song Huawu investigate her. Song Huawu was also his savior. It was really a headache. Thinking of this, Xiaoqun decided to use the identity of White Fox to remind Yi Xiaoya. By the way, I forgot to tell you something. The witch of Shishan is dead. Xiaoqun sent a private message to Yi Bia. The witch of Shishan is dead. I know that the warrior guild has cancelled the mission for him. It is said that the Supernatural Investigation Bureau killed him, Yi Xiaoya replied. That's good, but I also participated. When I fought with him, a person from the Supernatural Investigation Bureau named Song Huawu helped me kill him, Xiaoqun said. Song Huawu? So it's her. Fortunately, you met her. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been able to deal with old demon Shishan. Yi Xiaoya obviously knew Song Huawu. Yes, without her help, would be in danger. By the way, Song Huawu hasn't left yet. She seems to be investigating something. Xiaoqun said. You didn't leave? In Songming City? Oh, it's nothing. Don't worry about her. Yi Xiaoya obviously didn't care much about Song Huawu. Okay. Since Yi Xiaoya didn't care, then Xiaoqun didn't have to worry about it. By the way, after a while, accompany me to a summit. Yi Xiaoya said, are you free? I'm free, but where do you want to go? Where are you going? What summit? Xiaoqun's heart stirred. Could it be that this was what Song Huawu was concerned about? A small-scale summit competition between the demon sect and the righteous sections. The nearby demon sect martial artists and the righteous sect's martial artists can participate. Yi Xiaoya continued, in the past, the righteous sects basically had the advantage. After all, they have a lot of people, a large base, and many outstanding disciples. But this time, with me participating, my master hopes that I can suppress them. Then what am I going to do? Do nothing? Xiaoqun asked. You go and help me. You are my partner. Yi Xiaoya said, anyway, you are also a demonic cultivator. The righteous sects are our enemies. Ugh, okay. In fact, Xiaoqun didn't have much sense of belonging to the battle between the righteous sects and the demon sect. He was neither a demonic cultivator nor a martial cultivator. He was a cultivator who drifted away from both. However, since Yi Xiaoya invited him, Xiaoqun naturally wouldn't refuse. After all, the two of them were partners in the warrior guild. Naturally, he would help if he could. Moreover, this summit seemed to be safe, and it was in Songming City. This was fine. If it was outside of Songming City, it wouldn't be easy to tell Mississippi. Putting down the phone, Xiaoqun plugged in the electric clay pot and began to boil today's medicinal herbs. After doing all this, Xiaoqun went out of the room and planned to make something to eat. As a result, he saw Yi Xiaoya in the kitchen. Yi Xiaoya was playing with her phone. Obviously, she was talking to Xiaoqun just now. When she saw Xiaoqun coming over, she turned off the phone screen and asked with some doubts, "Where's your miss?" "It's her birthday today, so she won't be coming back to stay," Xiaoqun said. "Oh, I was just about to make something to eat. Why don't you cook for me?" Yi Xiaoya felt that Xiaoqun's cooking was better than hers. "I've bought all the ingredients." "Sure." Xiaoqun didn't care. He walked over and took the kitchen knife from Yi Xiaoya's hand. He started to make some sounds and got busy. Yi Xiaoya stood at the side and said, "By the way, Xiao Qin, if you can't be a martial cultivator, you can try demonic cultivator. Some people with the physique of a demonic cultivator are useless in the martial cultivator path." Demonic cultivator? Xiao Qin was stunned. This Yi Xiaoya was trying to pull him into her group. "Hence," he said, "you're a demonic cultivator. Don't worry about me. Just tell me, do you want to have the strength to counterattack the Ms. Perfect and push down Qing Menjing?" Yi Xiaoya asked. "I don't want to." Xiao Qin thought about it and said. He was originally a cultivator. If he went to demonic cultivator, he might die from qi deviation. It was pretty good now. His strength and leveling speed were not bad. "What do you want?" Yi Xiaoya thought that Xiao Qin would definitely say yes, but he said no. Yi Xiaoya stomped her feet in exasperation. She was very angry. "I say, Xiao Qin, can you do it or not? Would you rather be a useless person for the rest of your life? Although the Xiao family isn't considered a righteous sect, if I become a demonic cultivator, wouldn't I never be able to return to the Xiao family?" Xiao Qin said. "Who said that?" "Your mother." Yi Xiaoya was very angry, but she hesitated halfway through her words. Xiao Qin was stunned. "Why are you scolding me? It's nothing. I was just pissed off by you. You've already been kicked out of the Xiao family. Do you think you can go back now?" Yi Xiaoya said angrily, "You're nothing now. You don't have any strength, so you're on your own." Oh, that's fine. Then give me a demonic gate's heart sutra. I will study it." Xiao Qin said. "Why should I give it to you? My heart sutra is the top secret of the sect. It can't be spread." Yi Xiaoya said. "Then why are you telling me so much?" Xiao Qin was speechless. It was all in vain. "However, if you swear not to spread it, I can secretly show it to you." Yi Xiaoya said again. "Okay, I promise I won't spread it." Xiao Qin nodded. "Then come with me to get it later," Yi Xiaoya said. Xiao Qin was a little puzzled. When did Yi Xiaoya become so enthusiastic? She even gave him the Heart Sutra of the Demonic Gate? Is there any conspiracy? Has she guessed that I am her partner? She wants me to improve my strength before attending some summit? I can't do that. I haven't exposed myself. All right. Xiao Qin nodded without batting an eyelid. He could study the moves of the demonic gate or something. It would be bad if he gave himself away during the summit. Very soon, a few fragrant and delicious dishes were served on the table. At the banquet, he had only eaten some food with Jean Bebe at the beginning. Later on, when he impersonated Chao Yuliang, he did not have time to eat. Xiao Qin was hungry. He ate Shen Jingxian for a while in the evening, but it was not enough to satisfy his hunger. "I find that your cooking is really good." "Huh. Today's dishes are also delicious." "I think it's because of your cooking skills." "Is it because my cooking skills are not good enough? So the good food I bought is also wasted?" Yi Xiaoya felt that her guess was more and more reliable. Otherwise, why would the dishes made by Xiao Qin be delicious and hers not? She bought vegetables from the same farmer's market every day. If they were in different batches, would the ingredients be ready when Xiao Qin was cooking? That was not realistic. It's possible. If it's not delicious, will Qing Menjing let me be her follower? Xiao Qin said with a smile. Are you addicted to being her follower? Isn't it just a little girl? Can't you live without her? Think about it. You have the strength of a demonic cultivator. You can find anything you want. Young madam, who doesn't have any strength, is the worst. Yi Xiaoya stared at Xiao Qin. How should I put this? She was the one who took me in. Xiao Qin didn't know what he was thinking right now. He felt that it was very comfortable here. To be honest, other than letting him cook and be her chauffeur, the young miss didn't ask for anything else. This could be counted as a servant's work, but it could also be done by her fiancé. I think you are just enjoying it. You have no ambition. Yi Xiaoye said sarcastically. Xiao Chen could only smile bitterly. He didn't know why Yi Xiaoye always targeted him and young madam. Let's eat. I think it's okay. You just talk about me. Let's talk about you. Who are you exactly? Which demonic sect are you from? I am a demonic cultivator, but I can't tell you the specific sect. It's not good for you to know so much. If you can really cultivate and become a demonic cultivator, and your strength is high, I will help you apply to see if I can accept you as a disciple. Yi Xiaoye said, but don't think so much now. Well, what's your strength now? Xiao Chen was a little helpless. He asked Song Huawu, but she didn't tell him. Yi Xiaoye also didn't tell him. It seemed that Yi Xiaoye's sect seemed to be a bit mysterious. 5th level of internal strength, demonic cultivator. Yi Xiaoye said with some pride. She had just broken through to the 5th level of internal strength. Her cultivation speed was very fast. Whether it was a demonic cultivator or a martial cultivator, before the age of 18, they were all laying the foundation. Basically, they could have the strength of 2 or 3 levels of internal strength. If they could have the strength of 4 levels of internal strength, it was already quite good. After the age of 18, the talented and intelligent martial artists would have continuous breakthroughs and upgrade by taking the elevator. But for those with mediocre talent, they might be stuck at the 3rd or 4th level of internal strength. Of course, people like Xiao Chen who didn't have any strength at the age of 18 were very rare in the big families. No matter how trash they were, they would still have about the 1st level of internal strength. 5th level, very powerful. When Xiao Chen said this, it was sincere. Not long ago, the 5th level of internal strength was the existence that he looked up to. But now, he was a cultivator at the 5th level of the refinement stage. His strength was equivalent to the martial artist at the 6th level of internal strength. Chapter 303. Of course. Yi Xiaoye was a little proud. She was only 16 years old this year, but she was already a master of inner force stage 5. It was rare for someone to break through stage 3 before the age of 18, but she had already broken through stage 4 and reached stage 5. Moreover, she still had 2 years to level up. Those who could have such strength at the stage of laying the foundation were all geniuses that the major sects and families focused on training. However, compared to these geniuses who took the elevator to level up, Xiao Chen's level up could be said to be riding a rocket. Others took more than 10 years to level up, but he completed it in a month. After eating, Xiao Chen followed Yi Xiaoye upstairs to get the Devil Gates cultivation method. This was the first time that Xiao Chen walked into Yi Xiaoye's room. Previously, when he took the pot, he was also at the door. Why did you follow me in? Yi Xiaoye glanced at Xiao Chen, but she did not stop him. Your room doesn't look like a girl's boudoir at all. Xiao Chen found that Yi Xiaoye's room was very simple. There were not many things that were mainly girls' colors and decorations. It was completely ordinary. On Yi Xiaoye's table, there were a few bottles and jars that looked like elixirs or pills. There were also a few books. Other than that, there was nothing else. Those kinds of accessories, cosmetics, mirrors, they could not be seen here. It seemed that Yi Xiaoye's daily life, in addition to planting and brewing her own medicine, was cultivation. Oh, do you think that I'm like Xing Menjing, playing around with a lot of useless things? Yi Xiaoye curled her lips. The beauty of our generation of cultivators is achieved by continuous body tempering and cultivation. It's completely different from those who dress up every day. She would scare you to death if she washes her face. Not to that extent. Menjing is still a natural beauty. Xiao Chen could not help but smile bitterly. Why did Yi Xiaoye always target Xing Menjing? She's your goddess. Why do you like her? Yi Xiaoye curled her lips. Here is a beginner's cultivation method for demonic cultivators. Here is a bottle of body tempering spiritual liquid. You can give it a try as an assistant. You are an alchemist? Xiao Chen looked at the elixirs in Yi Xiaoya's hands curiously. He only saw Yi Xiaoya planting the herbs by herself, and he did not see anyone dispensing the elixirs for her. Of course. Yi Xiaoya stuck out her chest proudly. I'm a rare genius and beauty. Xiao Chen looked at her chest, which was not as big as Jean Bebe. Hey! What are you looking at? Yi Xiaoya glared at Xiao Chen. I know you like milk scallops. But when you're chased by your enemies, you'll know how much of a burden she is. Xiao Chen found that Yi Xiaoya was not only biased against Qing Menjing but also against Jean Bebe. By the way, do you have any martial arts techniques that demonic cultivators can use? I'd like to cultivate with you. Martial arts techniques? You are not even a beginner, and you are already thinking about martial arts techniques? Yi Xiaoya was speechless. Xiao Chen was too ambitious. Previously, he had said that he did not want to cultivate. In the end, the moment he started cultivating, he immediately wanted a martial technique. I'm just doing some research. Maybe I can't even cultivate demonic energy, so I'll just take it as a casual look. Xiao Chen said. The demonic energy in a demonic cultivator's body could actually be called internal strength, because demonic energy and internal strength were similar in nature. Only demonic cultivators would subdivide demonic energy into demonic energy, and the common term for demonic energy was internal strength. It's not that I can't let you do some research, but you are not strong enough. Don't use martial arts techniques recklessly. Yi Xiaoya reminded him solemnly, your demonic essence can't keep up with your stamina. If you use the combat technique directly, it will consume all the stamina in your body. If you faint or something happens to you, don't come looking for me. I understand. I won't do anything reckless. Xiao Chen nodded and said. Then I'll give you this martial arts technique book. Yi Xiaoya gave the other book to Xiao Chen. Thank you. I'll go back and do some research, Xiao Chen said. When he returned to his room, Xiao Chen's medicine was almost ready. So, Xiao Chen planned to drink the medicine first and then study the mental cultivation method and martial arts technique that Yi Xiaoya gave him. Before that, he had to ask the elder heaven ancestor first. He did not dare to practice it recklessly. The new medicine was extremely bitter when it entered his mouth. When it flowed into his stomach, it was like a burning flame with endless energy. Xiao Chen quickly began to practice the mental cultivation method and then began to practice. After an hour, the medicine's power slowly dissipated. Xiao Chen took out the spiritual jades and continued to practice. The night passed uneventfully. When Xiao Chen opened his eyes again, the few pieces of spiritual jades in his hand had all turned into dust. Xiao Chen's current strength had also reached the peak of the 5th layer of the qi refining stage. He was equivalent to a martial artist at the peak of qi refining stage 6. With his special ability, even if he faced a martial artist at qi refining stage 7, he would have the strength to fight. With the help of the spiritual jades and the new medicine, Xiao Chen once again recovered his previous rocket-like speed. It seemed that medicine and spiritual jades were indispensable. But medicine was easy to find, spiritual jades were more difficult. Now, Xiao Chen had used up all the spiritual jades in his hand. He didn't know if Lu Zhenming could get more spiritual jades for him. Otherwise, his strength would once again stagnate at the peak of the 5th level of the qi refinement realm. Elder Heaven Ancestor, can I practice the mental cultivation method of a devil cultivator? Xiao Chen asked. Don't practice the mental cultivation method, but you can practice the martial skills. Elder Heaven Ancestor said, the energy in your body is omnipotent. You can also use the martial skills that devil qi can use. Moreover, the martial skills of a devil cultivator are relatively simple. Before you can practice my martial skills, you can also practice the martial skills of a devil cultivator. Oh. It's really possible? Xiao Chen didn't have much hope at first. After all, he was a cultivator, different from other martial artists. But he didn't expect that it could be used. So he quickly picked up the martial skill that Yi Xiaoya gave him and looked at it. Dark Flame Palm? This was the name of the martial skill that Yi Xiaoya gave to Xiaochen. As the name suggested, this was a palm technique. Correspondingly, the first style could be practiced by a level 1 inner force or devil qi. The second style could be practiced by a level 2 inner force cultivator, and so on. The power of each style would gradually increase, but the physical strength consumed would also increase correspondingly. For example, a devil cultivator with level 5 inner force might only be able to use the fifth style twice, but he could use the first style many times. Xiaochen didn't directly practice the fifth style. Instead, he planned to start experimenting with the first style. Thinking of this, Xiaochen began to carefully study the method of activating the martial skill and the mnemonic chant. The so-called martial skill was actually somewhat similar to the mnemonic chant, but the method of operation was different. The martial skill was to mobilize the devil qi in the body according to a certain method, then gather it together and activate it. Of course, there was no devil qi in Xiaochen's body, only vitality. But this didn't matter. According to the elder heaven ancestor, his vitality was omnipotent. So, after practicing the first style of the dark flame palm several times in his heart, Xiaochen stood up, took a deep breath, and prepared to activate it in actual combat. Circulating the mnemonic chant, the vitality in Xiaochen's body was suddenly mobilized. Xiaochen followed the mnemonic chant and moved the vitality to the position of his palms. Then, he suddenly pushed out according to the method of activation, dark flame palm, first style. Boom, a dazzling black flame was activated from Xiaochen's palms. It carried a scorching and deathly aura. Although the power wasn't particularly strong, the aura was quite scary. Xiaochen didn't expect that he would actually succeed in one try. This was a little surprising to him. Although Xiaochen had practiced it a few times in his heart, it was still just a simulation. He actually succeeded in activating it in one try. It seemed that what the elder heaven ancestor said was right. The advantage of a cultivator was quite strong. Phew, Xiaochen took a deep breath and retracted his palms. The power of the move just now was more than enough to deal with a martial artist of the same level. No wonder devil cultivators were stronger than martial cultivators. But now, from Xiaochen's point of view, as a cultivator, his situation seemed to be more similar to devil cultivators. Could it be that those martial cultivators were jealous of devil cultivators, so they always found trouble with them? Thinking about it, it was really possible. Didn't Yu Xiaochuan claim to be the heir of a righteous sect? In the face of strength, didn't he still choose to cultivate some chrysanthemum treasure? What devil cultivator, what martial cultivator, if they could choose, who wouldn't choose the stronger one to cultivate? Of course, Xiaochen was still a little hesitant to activate the martial technique in the house. He was afraid that he would burn the writing desk, bed, and so on. Taking advantage of the fact that the sky wasn't bright yet, Xiaochen decided to go to the villa's backyard to test it out. The second move of the dark flame palm, Xiaochen silently memorized the mantra and silently practiced the route of yuan qi circulation in his heart. Then, he stood still in the yard and prepared to activate it. Boom, the second move of the dark flame palm. As expected, the second move was successfully activated. But this time, Xiaochen didn't hold back and used all his strength to activate it. The black flames from his palms were endless, like a flood bursting out of a dam. The scorching flames and the dark aura of death made people feel like they were in a sea of fire. What a strong power! Xiaochen thought in his heart. If he had been able to activate the second move of the dark flame palm when he faced the assassin who tried to assassinate him, he would have been able to defeat him. In the face of such a majestic move, even a martial artist with stage 3 inner strength could only retreat. Not to say that he could kill them, but at least he could make them not dare to get close. However, Xiaochen was a little puzzled. Since these devil cultivators were so strong, how could they be suppressed by martial cultivators? Releasing such a strong martial technique, wasn't this the same as suppressing the enemy? The second move was already so powerful, wouldn't the later moves be even more powerful? And now, Xiaochen felt that martial cultivators occupied the majority of the martial artists, and devil cultivators were only a small part. Chapter 304. Xiao Chen, what are you thinking? The voice of the elder heaven ancestor came into Xiao Chen's ears. Your qi is omnipotent, and the conversion efficiency is very high. It's like a car. Using your qi is more powerful than using gasoline. If it was an ordinary devil cultivator, this move would definitely not have such power. It can only be said that the powerful ones are only slightly stronger than the martial cultivators. The normal ones are about the same. So that's how it is. Xiao Chen suddenly understood. He had thought that devil cultivators were so powerful. Weren't they invincible in the martial arts circle? How could they be suppressed by the orthodox sects? They would have long trampled on their opponents. After successfully activating the second move, Xiao Chen tried the third, fourth, and fifth moves of Dark Flame Palm. He could also activate them smoothly, and the power of each move was greater than the previous one. However, when activating the sixth move, Xiao Chen was a little stuck. After all, his true strength was only at the fifth level of the Qi refinement stage. Although he was at the peak of the fifth level of the Qi refinement stage, he could only activate the fifth move. Can't I? After failing to activate the sixth move, Xiao Chen was a little disappointed. After all, he was very proficient in activating the first 5 moves. They were completed in one go without any hindrance. I say, Xiao Chen, do you really not know, or are you pretending not to know? Whether it's a martial cultivator or a devil cultivator, it's impossible to activate a martial skill in one go. Previously, you were able to activate the first 5 moves in one go. This is already relying on the advantage of a cultivator. This 6th move is equivalent to a martial skill of the same level as you. It's normal that you can't activate it directly. You just have to activate it a few more times and it'll be fine. Oh? Is that so? Xiao Chen was slightly stunned, and then he smiled bitterly. Indeed, he was too fixated on his rocket-like leveling up speed. He had never experienced the difficulties of a martial cultivator or a devil cultivator. Even a rare genius like Yi Xiaoye could not level up like Xiao Chen. It was also impossible for her to skillfully activate the 5th move in one night. This was unrealistic. Therefore, after listening to the elder heaven ancestor's words, Xiao Chen relaxed. He took a deep breath and continued to practice the 6th style of the Dark Flame Palm. After deducing about 5 or 6 times, Xiao Chen could successfully activate it this time. Although he wasn't very proficient, he really succeeded in activating it. Looking at the black flames wrapped around his palms, Xiao Chen could not help but sigh. If he had been able to activate this move earlier, it would have been a piece of cake for him to kill Old Witch West Mountain. Xiao Chen couldn't help but have the urge to test the power of this palm. However, there was no enemy, and he couldn't hit randomly in the yard. This villa was rented. If it was damaged, he would have to pay for it. If outsiders saw it, they would be suspicious, so Xiao Chen could only endure it. Fortunately, after activating this palm, Xiao Chen's physical strength and true qi were almost consumed. Xiao Chen also needed to cultivate to restore his true qi. Thinking of this, Xiao Chen directly sat cross-legged on the ground and began to circulate the mantra. He began to quickly restore his physical strength and true qi. However, without the assistance of the spiritual jade, Xiao Chen's recovery speed was obviously not as fast. Originally, Xiao Chen wanted to try to see if he could continue to activate the 7th style of the Dark Flame Palm. But now it seemed that he could only wait. By the time Xiao Chen had recovered some of his physical strength, the sky was already bright. Xiao Chen then drove to school. After Li Shaoning returned, it could be said that he was severely reprimanded by the current head of the Li family, Li Chaoba. Do you know the value of these pieces of ancient jade? You used them to gamble with others? It's fine if you won, but now you've lost. Li Chaoba was very angry. The colorful Li family was an ancient martial arts family with a deep foundation. Different from those newly promoted martial arts families, Li Chaoba usually liked to collect some very valuable antiques. Those ancient jades were one of those collections. When he heard that the ancient jades were lost by Li Shaoning, how could he not be angry? These things were no longer a matter of money. They were priceless items. Although one of them did not have too much history, but the other one was a real good collection. Grandson also did not expect such a situation to occur. Li Shanning knelt on the ground, lowered his head, and carefully said, "Grandson is also eager to avenge big brother. Our Li family was bullied like this, grandson can't not take revenge. I can understand your eagerness to avenge your big brother, but you can't let hunger get to your head." Li Qiaoba said, "Tell me, from the time you started to avenge until now, how much have you lost? Let's not talk about that brother Hei Feng, you lost another 2 pieces of ancient jade. You went for wool and came home shorn. Grandpa, I know I was wrong, grandson has thought it through now. Everything must be planned before taking action." Li Shanning quickly said. "Well, since you have this awareness, it is not considered a loss for nothing. A fall into the pit, a gain in your wit." Li Qiaoba said, "In the 3rd generation of the Li family, besides Li Shandiao, you are the oldest. The Li family's rule is to only respect the elders, not the juniors. Now you are the 3rd generation successor, your actions represent the Li family, not yourself." "I understand." Li Shanning said, "Grandpa, please rest assured, this time to deal with Xiao Chen, I will definitely think of a comprehensive and complete solution. First, tell me about the situation of you dealing with Xiao Chen, I will help you analyze and advise." Li Qiaoba originally did not intend to intervene in this kind of matter. After all, how could Li Shanning not be able to deal with a waste young master who was chased out of a small foreign family? But in fact, Li Shanning really did not manage to deal with it. After all, he had a few bad starts, so Li Qiaoba had to intervene and ask about it. Otherwise, if he could not even trample such a small waste to death, then he would be too weak. "Yes, Grandpa." Li Shanning quickly explained the process of him dealing with Xiao Chen to Li Qiaoba in detail. He did not dare to hide anything, after all, these things were easy to find out. Qiao Yuliang and Chen Jinpeng were both involved. Li Qiaoba listened to Li Shanying's narration and could not help but frown. He pondered for a while and said, "From what you said, it seems that this Xiao Chen is not a fool. He seems to have some ability, at least in terms of racing, he is a rare genius. I have to admit that his racing skills are very good, those traps are not very effective against him." Li Shanning nodded. Although it was a bit of a boost to others' morale, Li Shanning had to admit that Xiao Chen was very talented in racing. Not only his driving skills, I feel that this person's IQ is not low. Although he is a loser, he is not a loser in other aspects. I don't believe that he can't see that Qiao Yuliang wants to harm him again and again. How stupid can he be? Li Qiaoba said, "I think he saw it, but he felt that it was beneficial to him, so he accepted the appointment again and again." Is it possible? Li Shanning was stunned and fell into deep thought. To be honest, in his eyes, Xiao Chen was an arrogant and greedy guy. If it was really like what his grandpa said, then this Xiao Chen's scheming was deep enough. Nothing is impossible. Li Qiaoba said, "If it were you, would you still accept the appointment if you were repeatedly tricked to be put to death?" "I don't think so." Li Shanning shook his head, "That's why he was tricked again and again. That's why I feel that his IQ is not too high. But in other words, it can also be said that his IQ is very high." Li Qiaoba said, "Moreover, he is proficient in scheming. In a situation where he knows that he will win, he will accept the appointment and then profit from you and Qiao Yuliang. Then, what should I do next?" Li Shanning felt that his grandpa should not be talking nonsense. After all, old people become shrewd, so there should be some truth in what he said. Now that he carefully recalled, he did not think that Xiao Chen was stupid. This person seemed to be proficient in scheming, and every time he gained the advantage. Crush him with absolute strength. Li Qiaoba said. Absolute strength? Although our Li family has a deep relationship with the warrior guild, if we rashly intervene in the affairs of Songming City, wouldn't it bring unnecessary trouble? Li Shanning hesitated and asked. Although Li Shanying's great-grandfather was one of the vice presidents of the warrior guild, he was not the only vice president. There were other family forces, so Li Xiaoning did not want to leave an excuse for others to criticize the Li family. Under normal circumstances, it is definitely impossible. Li Qiaoba laughed. However, after a while, there will be a small summit between the demon sect and the righteous sections. Our colorful Li family is also one of the representatives of the righteous sections. Naturally, we will also send people to participate, and I intend to let you go. Oh. I don't have to hide my strength anymore? Li Xiaoning was slightly stunned. It turned out that he had indeed hidden his strength. It seemed that these aristocratic families' descendants were used to hiding their strength. The purpose was also to prevent the enemy from figuring out their trump cards and methods. If you want to go to the front stage, it is time to show your strength. Li Qiaoba said, with your strength, killing Shao Chen should be very easy. At that time, the demon sect, the righteous sects, and the Supernatural Investigation Bureau will all appear in Songning City. With so many warriors, who would know who killed Shao Chen? You won't even need to use martial arts to kill Shao Chen, so there will not be any evidence left. Then I understand. Don't worry, Grandpa. As long as I make a move, that Shao Chen is just an ant. I can pinch him to death at any time. Li Xiaoning said excitedly. How are your eyes? Li Qiaoba asked. Huang Yaosher has already taken a look for me. I should be able to recover. Li Xiaoning was very depressed when he talked about his eyes. This matter was really messed up. Damn it, it could even be crushed by a tire. Fortunately, he was a hidden warrior. He endured until he came back and found the family's Huang Yaosher to treat him. You're tuning in to the Journey of the Soul YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.